about to say, if we roast them too hard, he might lose.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ready City Grid. I'm your GM, Hana, and I'm very sneaky. Let's start off by introducing ourselves. Let's whiz around with who is the. Let's start with who's the least sneaky of the group. I'm going to use that term loosely, and then we'll work our way up to the most sneaky of us all.
Character or person?
Let's do character for a change. I feel like we're delving too much in the inside of our characters.
That makes it easier. Hi, I'm Astra. I play the ASMR cleric who is very much unsneaky, and I will pass it on to the next stealthy sneaky boy.
Hello, I am Cyrus. I am Cyrus Revenmar, played by Ryan, and I am also very not sneaky, as I am the ASMR Barbarian, and I will pass it to the middle group. Not overly sneaky, not sneaky.
I'm quite sneaky, but my dice disagree with that. Like, the bonus is good, the rolls are not. Hi, I'm George. I play Atlas Moreau, the Owlin Druid, and I'll pass it on to someone a little sneakier.
Well, I'm a teensy bit sneakier, but not quite sneakiest. So, I'm Will. I'm playing Volga Dragable, the Drogarinja, and I'll pass on to the most sneakiest clip copy person on the planet.
Yeah, I think I'm not that sneaky, but I have the ability to be way sneaky. Hi, I'm Anthony.
You have a sneaky attack, so you know.
It's just, you have the capability of being sneaky, but your personality does not agree with that.
Alright, and with that concluded, does any of our party want to remind us what happened last time?
We got fucking minced.
We made some poor decisions.
But our little guys.
So, we came up from the Undercity. Everything was on fire. I honestly can't remember if that was... No,
that was 2 sessions ago.
No, things were still on fire last session, right? Because we...
Well, they were still on fire, but we started in the Undercity.
Yeah.
After we escaped to the Blaze.
The docks. So we came up in a different area.
We went back to the Undercity when everything stopped being on fire, but we didn't get to rest because we were, you know, bam, bam, bam.
I believe you had a short rest.
We short rested.
We
but before we short rested, sneaky and slightly less sneaky, but still the top 2 sneakies, went to go collect some more troops. The 3 less sneaky sneakies sought out shelter for the weary and wounded in a temple, and then we're like, shit, the Chimera and us don't really fit in the temple, so they went to an abandoned school that they had been warned had been used for nefarious purposes that were not disclosed. We were like, this place is boarded up and looks haunted, but fuck it, let's get in there. We got in there. There were some spooky claw marks. Atlas was like, I'ma fucking go. Cyrus is like, no.
I'm a fucking no.
And so Cyrus and Atlas were like, meh. And then Atlas tried to leave, and then a cloaker was like, and attacked us. Astra was like, hey, everyone should run, and Atlas and Cyrus were like, yeah, you're right, and then neither of them did that. The cloaker died.
Very much a case of you move first.
You first. Tewa ripped it into 1,000 tiny pieces. We took a little nap, just a short little chill session. Because, you know, nothing's safer than a desiccated cloaker corpse outside your door. Regrouped with our buddies. Went to the docks. We're like, should we plan this? Then we're like, nah. Ran in there. Got, like, all our troops killed very fast. Got bad, then it got better. Then Atlas, booped her cannon and blew up most of the dock, but didn't blow up anyone by, like, literally 5 feet. And I think it was kind of it. We're there, we're hurt, but we're alive, and we have taken the dock.
And we technically still have 2 units left.
Yeah.
One untrained medium unit, and a well-trained small unit.
But there are a lot of corpses.
Oh, there are so many bodies. They're all icicles. Everybody died by ice.
We should have brought a necromancer along from somewhere. Like, they would have
Yeah.
fodder.
I mean, Trekkie still has the potential to make a deal if he wants that little bit of extra fire.
Have you heard about your lord and savior, Satan?
Oh, don't mistake my devil lord with Satan, okay? I don't ask
His
you
is a lot
biblical
worse.
shit.
Is yours worse? Is yours less hot?
Faith is technically
That's
an
my
angel.
favorite thing about the Bible, by the way. The fact that, like, canonically several times they're like, the devil is so hot and sexy, by the way, just so you know.
He is. Seen him.
Like, there was that sculptor, and they were like, we need you to make a statue of the devil, and he was like, cool. And they were like, that's too sexy. So then they hired his brother, who sculpted an even sexier one.
Or even in all the paintings of like Lucifer, where he's like, so like you can tell he's a good-looking
It's
guy.
like, damn, that guy's hot. I get that he's literally Lucifer, but like,
No wonder he talked even to an apple.
That man
yeah,
could talk me into eating an apple. I mean, it's not a very
Technically,
hard thing to talk me into.
Technically, Faith is an angel. He just looks a little evil, you know?
I feel like if you're an angel of a devil, things are getting messy.
technically he's a god of devils.
gonna
He's
say,
not
yeah, he's
a
not a
devil.
That's worse, I think,
He's like,
maybe.
I'm a god and I'm gonna make devils because they're necessary.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys fought to take the military dock. You suffered pretty bad losses from the commander of that like heavily defended area. I kind of got a taste of just how heavily fortified a well-trained, large fortification is. They will sometimes have little bosses in them. That one in particular, I don't know if you guys had a good look at the aftermath because he was blown to absolute fucking smithereens.
Oops.
We're still in the aftermath. I think we haven't
Yeah.
retreated or left yet.
So as you are all kind of like standing there looking at this scene before you,
Atlas
see-
pretending she totally meant to do that.
you see the burning, smoldering, like destroyed wreck of where the ship like has just like I think it like rendered to dust basically with the blast 'cause it was so powerful.
Hey, you said there were fragments scattered.
Oh, yeah, a few chunks and bits, but nothing unbelievable. And there's just this like wash of quiet after that huge explosion that like rocked the docks themselves. And you see everyone kind of looking around. You see like Yasin like rolling people over who've been like frozen to death, or like some people have like been burned, and like just trying to check anyone over, looking for any signs of like possible survivors. But like you see Fiona like kind of coming over to him, like putting a hand on his shoulder and be like, "That's darling, I think they're gone." You see, he's like, "Oh, just gotta check, make sure." And like he's just going through, but yeah, it's not finding anyone.
Atlas will land.
Chimera's like with Beros licking its wounds, like none of it seems to have quite. It's already still like a little bit heightened, but one head is licking its wounds, so the other ones are like looking around. See the gladiators all there, like they're kind of like still enjoying this thrill of battle. I think they're like high-fiving each other, like that was epic, brother. I appreciate what you did.
They've
The thing
still
you
got
put
the
me onto the
boombox
tower.
going.
Oh, look at these dead people. Oh, this is really not the mood for us. Again, you see Tracky very stoically standing, hands crossed behind his back, like at the edge of the dock, just looking out at the beautiful, like woven, like vines and plants, just like the
Atlas
creates
will
bubble around the
venture
city.
to the edge just to kind of look at the destruction of what she has wrought.
Cyrus will probably make his way over to stand beside Trekkie.
Tracky just stands there and just like doesn't look at you.
I just hope deeply in my heart that one of those pieces of the blown up ship hit that guy who keeps trying to propose.
No, this time it hits both of them. It hits him and the girl.
It, like, he dodges it and it hits her, and then a second bit hits him. That's our final big bad. I don't know who Harry plans for a final big bad, but like that's it. It's that guy.
But yeah, Tracky stands there, like hands crossed behind his back, just looking out over the kind of like open space, like that leads up to that like thing. You hear him just like kind of quietly, Cyrus, as you approach. He's just like, "It surely is quite something, I suppose."
Yeah, I didn't think what Atlas had that much power to it.
I wasn't referring to the explosion, but I suppose you are correct. That was quite a formidable device.
You're referring to the life support?
All of it. And he like gestures down where he's looking, and you see the dock you're standing on. It looks like the old Grand Airship dock, but below it you see this like big, like round cylinder, like a big mechanical looking cylinder, like kind of like where the support struts would be. And Tracky just kind of like goes like, "Looks like it must go over there." And he points over to where the like vines and stuff kind of like mingle. They make like this like round shape. It's all covered over with like a thin mesh of like leaves and stuff like that. They seem to call it some kind of barrier. But yeah, it appears to be some kind of like docking bay, or so something like some kind of a TAF might be able to connect to.
I don't understand how they're able to build all this so quickly. I mean, the announcement was made, what, 5 days ago, and already they have new docks and new systems in place, and
You have to remember, they've been working on this for before you arrived here. I imagine a lot of these pieces were in storage somewhere, waiting to be deployed.
Lego kind of idea.
I'm not familiar with this Lego. I suppose
He's more of a connects man.
If I suppose it was something that was made and then they moved it somewhere else, you could be Legoing from one place to another.
it must be some sort of dwarven tech. I don't know.
I think it is most likely elvish minds who've crafted this.
But let's be honest, Lego would be dwarven. Like,
I was talking.
yeah,
I was referring
like
to the Lego
that's
as
given
dwarven tech.
dwarven vibes.
Click, 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 click.
Like, that's what dwarven kids are playing with, you know?
Tell me honestly, what do you think our chances are of being able to stop all of this after today?
I think we've shown them just what we're made of. And that will probably have them scared. I think, hopefully, we can open the floor for some kind of discussion. Maybe the city have found a strength in us. But I suppose, really what we need to call for is, I don't know. The people need a choice in all this. I suppose they had one with the attempted leaving, but the fact that no applications are really being improved of anyone suggested that they had no intention of letting the magic users leave.
Problem is, where do we go now? Most of our safe houses have been burned or torched, and the ones that remain aren't exactly big enough to... Well, actually, our numbers have been reduced. We might be able to all hide in one of them.
We also now have access to this. We could,
Every cloud, silver lining.
we could try to get people off now. We could give people that chance. We hold the dock. If we can deal with
We
that
don't
gun
have it.
underneath, we can... Maybe we can't take this city in 2 days. Maybe that's too much. But maybe we can get the people at least to safety. Those who don't want to go this way. I will
Problem
unite
is now,
this planet one way or another at some point, but I'm sure you can. If you could fly a city into the Expanse, I'm sure you can crash it onto a planet.
True. I don't know if we'd be able to hold these docks. If they come back to retaliate, we have lost the bulk of our forces.
He kind of like gestures along. You see, there's like a few like larger vessels, like the old airships and stuff like that, that are still like moored on the old docks that kind of lie above the new space docks. He's like, we do hold their larger fleets at the moment. They are probably limited to the smaller vessels. They only can hold a couple, but if they landed a couple on one of those ships, they could very easily take hold of it and get it moving a lot quicker than we could. They have the advantage of knowing how they all work.
Well, it might be within our interest to disable the bulk of them. Keep a few working that we control.
Actually, that'd be wise.
Cyrus is then going to look over and see where everybody else is.
Yeah, what's everyone kind of do?
I think Beros will probably be making his way kind of down the dock just to see kind of what ships are there. With his main focus being that being their next move.
Yeah. Maybe kind of just like a general. Let's call it an intelligence check. But you can add a proficiency bonus from your like navigating skills and like your time like spent, like so you can identify your little size of these vessels you're kind of looking at.
Investigation. So with proficiency, that's a +2, so 15.
15? Yeah, I mean most of the ships here are like you would compare them to Tevs because you would have more experience with Tevs. They would mainly be like cutter size, so similar kind of sizes to the Starwind Serenade. You're talking like anywhere from 40 to 60 foot in length with like a 20 to 30 foot kind of like berth across the way, and a fairly big keel to reflect that as well. Most of them are armed with either a little arcade turret or like maybe a ballista or things like that. Not like any huge weapons are like mounted on these things. Like they're more, you imagine, as they are a mage city, they probably are more effective having mages like on the deck, like slinging like spells en masse, as opposed to like dedicating like 3 people to try to work one ballista. Same with a turret and things like that. But there is one much larger vessel. You would compare it in size to like a galleon. It's about like 200 foot long and about 100 foot kind of like wide. It's a big chunky ship, like very stubby almost, but it's very big. It's got a huge kind of like flat top deck. You imagine again for like more like open mage positions. But it has a large kind of like a large like big ballista on the front, kind of similar to the other ones. But it also has this huge big mangonel behind it, which is a bit like almost like a small catapult, effectively, which can be used to like help fling some shit towards things. It's very much like a siege weapon. This ship looks like a big that would be useless against like any of the small little ships that they'd be like flying around in. The ballista would be more effective against those because it's got a much faster flight time. The mangonel probably would struggle to hit things like that. But anything static or slow moving might be able to hit. But again, that would require a lot of people to crew. Like, you're talking like a good 30-40 people to crew it effectively.
Like, if we hadn't lost the bulk of our forces, we could have taken that ship.
Well, you could take it, but like, it's probably not going to move very fast. But even talking like, it could probably carry like a good couple of hundred people. Like,
we could just like hang out there as a safe house, and if they come for us, we can just fuck off.
I think the other thing is you just fly it over and just start going, yeah, hey, fuck you. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, I was thinking more of somewhere to stay the night that we can protect and kind of
fortify.
I mean, even a smaller ship might be a good idea, because like
actually the smaller ships are like, it's like the Serenade, like a crew of 8 people could effectively crew one of the kind of like cutters.
Like, they might not bother attacking us if they know we could just fuck off.
So I'm assuming, just for reference, this is the ship that we're talking about on the map.
Yeah.
Any idea what this ship is?
What ship?
The ship in the bottom.
That's
And
one of the other ones I'm talking about. That's one of the smaller cutters.
Could we take the ballista off the big ship and put it on the small ship?
Yeah, you know, the small ship already has a ballista mounted, but you could move a ballista. You would just need to find some way to attach it. But anyone skilled with carpenter's tools could probably make a weapon mount for you.
I have an attachment that helps me.
Yep.
Atlas will, once she's done surveying the destruction, go check on Tewa and see how they're doing post-battle.
Very hurt.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Like, yeah. Apart from the healing you gave them, they are not looking good at all. They're on like, yeah, they're definitely critical.
Alice will use her final spell slot. Throw a second level healing word into them.
Mm-hmm. 10 healing. Kind of like watch the kind of wounds kind of close up a little bit, and they're still hurt, like they're still bloodied, but like, you know, they're no longer that kind of like, you know, very rough looking. Like you see
Pedal
the
3 heads
bruising,
and just be like,
lightning as well.
sorry, buddy, that's all I've got right now. Yeah, I know the feeling.
The goat like lightly nudges you side of its head, not in like an aggressive way, in an attempt to be affectionate. It's like, but you know, hard.
Pat him under the chin.
Yeah.
Good boy, Marsan.
One of the goat's hooves starts going like on the cobble.
I feel like Astra's probably like tending to the dead and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And closing their eyes and whatnot.
Atlas also just trying to guide Tower to eat the bad guys who died rather than the good guy. Like, no, what about this delicious person?
Tewa will eat whatever is presented closest to them. So bit of body dragon later, and yeah, you can already assume that Tewa will get their fill without needing to consume friendly fallen.
Also, the friendly fallen's not going to taste good because they were all killed by cold damage.
Yeah,
they're going to
they're
be all crunchy and hard, like a popsicle.
TV dinners.
Yeah, gross. They're not going to defrost right. Like, it's...
Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to do? You know, you had a tend to the dead, like...
Would the ships have communication like the Bit and Bridle or the Self-Carriage Maximus would have had? Like, if there was a message put out, would they be able to receive messages like that?
You are not sure. You can't see anything apparent on the main deck. The largest ship that's kind of closest to you, you could go on board and check them out, or...
Yeah, I think after speaking with Trekkie and seeing that everybody else is kind of doing their own thing, Cyrus will follow up with Barros and see about maybe investigating the bigger ship or the smaller ship, whichever one he's drawn to more.
I'll kind of turn around to Cyrus and be like, I think for now, the bigger ship might provide us a better situation, just at least to get everyone on, let them rest, take watches, less conspicuous that way.
Yeah, we'll be able to
we can-
hide more people downstairs.
We can hide under the decks. No one has to stay on top unless needed. We can fit
The-
Tarwa underneath.
The only thing I was thinking of is if we needed to use it to get a quick escape, a smaller vessel might suit us better.
Can we fit on a smaller vessel with Tarwa anymore?
Yeah, just one of the tower.
They're not that big.
Pretty big.
Have you done your check? Right.
Like, would the smaller vessel have a cargo hold big enough for Tewa?
I mean, to be fair, we're down to like maybe 20, 30 of us. I think that probably will be able to fit on the small ship for one night.
Yeah, I mean, if we put him in the cargo hold, everyone else can either rough it in the crew quarters, or if there's a captain's quarters. As long as there's enough beds for everyone, if I need to sleep on the floor, I'll sleep on the floor. I'm fucking exhausted. And he's covered in blood. Cyrus does not look good.
A smaller ship might be good. It might also give us an opportunity to get out of here and get to the other side of the city if needs.
Yeah, it also puts us at the most distance between us and the Castello. And we have no idea how they're going to respond to this.
Okay,
They've just seen us use Dez's devastating force.
So if you're looking at the small ships, there are two of them. One is called the Aloria, and the other is called the Mistweaver.
Ooh, I want to go on the Mistweaver.
Which one has the ballista, or do they both have ballista?
They both have ballista.
Sweet,
Ignore
okay.
the arcane turret. I'm looking also ignore that. But they're all ballista mangonel based. So the mangonel's on the big boy, which is called the Dawnblade, and then the other two are the Aloria and the Mistweaver.
Are they all on the military docks? Or are they?
They're all on. They're kind of like sporadic spread out, but yes, their main focus is like near the military dock. They're on the map. They're spread out, but they are basically all centered around this military area up in the top.
Okay.
They might be worth splitting up between the two ships.
But you could move them to any of the docks. The only restriction is the Dawnblade would have to be part of one of the Grand Airship docks to be moored effectively. It wouldn't have a big enough tether on any of them.
Yeah.
How many do we number? So we've got 1, 2, 3, plus the 6 gladiators is
You
6 or
also
5
have
gladiators.
a small, well-trained and a medium untrained nearby. And you've got two
So,
medium untrains manning the walls in the middle. And a Lara's group.
We've also got a Lara, like, up in the city somewhere.
3,
Yeah.
9,
Off doing whatever she does.
14, 15, 16, 17. 17 plus us 5. There's where my bad math comes in. 22 plus Trekkie and those two is... So we've got about 25 people.
Yeah.
Is what I'm... So one ship
At
could
least-
hold
at least on
25 plus a Chimera.
What was the big ship called again?
Dawnblade.
Dawnblade.
Like, we have nearly enough crew to man the big ship. It's just whether or not we want to get out of here quickly, and if we would just want to use it as a safe haven, or whether or not we want to actually start using this thing effectively.
Well, I think if they've only got smaller craft, and we need to escape them, a smaller ship, although it won't be as strong as the Dawn Blade, we could at least pilot it more effectively. And if it's got artillery and we have our magic restored, we could hold our own in a smaller ship. I think it'll just be how effective we are at moving it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
two overly functioning ships is probably better than one under
mediocrely, yeah.
A ship of that kind of size, of like a cutter size, at least in Tev terms, you need to like have a little look around this one, but it probably would have about like a minimum of 3 crew needed to like man it, and it could also fit an additional like 9 people, or a varying amount of cargo as well. Instead, maybe you have to swap out people for cargo if you want to carry like things with you.
About 12 each. That's round about what we've got. So
Yeah.
split in half. Take 2 ships.
Yeah, so who do we want to come with us? Will we bring Fjornik, Yasin and Trekkie and Tevwa with us, and then have the gladiators and the other 2 units man the other ship?
Maybe Trekkie and the gladiators.
We need someone who can pilot that ship.
Can you not pilot this ship?
I can pilot one ship. I can't pilot both.
Oh. Cyrus will just turn to the others and be like, who knows how to pilot?
You look at Fjordic, Yasin, and Traki.
Maybe one of them knows.
Fjordic goes, I can fly. I used to fly a small little shuttle around, but nothing that size. But I know the controls. I know the basics.
The basics
So-
is all that we need. So
It's a last resort. It's not we're expecting bombing raids or anything. It's just in
If you
case
can
we
make
need
it
to
go in
escape
the
here
air and
quickly.
land somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably do that. So what am I taking?
We'll take the Mist Weaver.
Okay. So what one am I taking?
The other one.
Not the
Cyrus,
Dawn Blade.
Not
The-
the Dawn Blade. I can't remember the name. What's it called? It's an elvish word.
The Eloria.
That one.
Yep. So Fjordic takes the Eloria. So you guys and the Chimera are going together. She's going on the Eloria. Where are Traki and Yasin and everyone else going?
I think to have Yasin go with Fjornic.
We have to keep Yasin and Fjornic together. They're a bonded pair. They have to be rehomed
That's the
together.
rules.
Traki.
and then they take the medium untrained.
I'm gonna say the Chimera counts for 3 passenger slots on your one for the 3 heads.
What if he curls up real small?
Then he somehow takes 4.
So could the medium untrained and the small well-trained go with them?
The medium untrained could, but that would be them full. You guys could take the small, but then that would leave Traki and the gladiators. Like you could just send them to like an
Or
undercity.
will we just take the Dawn Blade, Dawn Blade? Just have everybody on the same spot, or do we want to split everyone?
Yeah, George.
I mean, we could also send them back to the Undercity.
Yeah, they don't have to man ship.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
there's not that many of them.
Yeah.
You could, I could always go try to touch base with Alara. We've kind of left her alone over there. Be interested in what
Yeah,
she's up
that-
to.
that might be worthwhile. It's been a while since we've had contact.
Yeah, so if we send Trekkie and the gladiators to Alara.
It's been a bit of a long day, but we'll maybe sleep out somewhere in the Undercity tonight. One of that, maybe that temple or that place you cleared out, and then head there in the morning.
Don't stay in the school.
Not a temple
It's
it is.
not advised.
I suppose we could also try to go to the home of name doesn't matter. The one with the sad mother in it.
Yeah, well, the sad mother might be happy to see a priest. I don't know elvish customs on grief, but if you think it's best, trust your instincts.
Better than shelter in a temple in the fairly open area. Better hide, especially after what's happened. We'll go to ground and see what we can do. Come on, you rowdy bunch. Who you calling rowdy, old man?
Can we just take a moment to appreciate that this poor woman whose son just died is going to have a bitchy priest and like 6 gladiators rock up to her door like, hey, can we crash here tonight?
Why do I imagine that when we next see Trekkie, he's part of the trip? Like they've taken him. He's now the war priest.
He's got a nickname. He's got entry music.
Would he be called like the Reverend or something, you know?
He like
Bring down
walks
the
in, like
brother.
music starts playing. He's like, I told you to stop doing that every time I walked into a room.
Time to take them to church, man.
It's like Piper.
The gladiators are just glad they don't have to hang out with the Chimera for any longer. Unlike you guys, who are fucking stuck with them. My aim is to get this chimera so tame that eventually other people will be like, that's a monster, and the rest of the party will leap to their defense. Like, no, they're chill.
Is Ryan frozen for you? Because I heard him talking, but I didn't hear him.
Yeah,
talking.
his camera is fucked
Yeah,
to me.
at least he's posed kind of like a smug
Confirmed.
shit-eating, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting frozen halfway through a
Oh,
dumb face.
So we, with you all, like, you know, staying in the other city and all that jazz, are we, is that it? Are you guys just gonna keep the ships where they are, or are you...
I think we'll keep them where they are. They're equally distanced. That
Yeah.
it could be.
I'm about to say, is it worth just pushing it just far enough away from the dock so it
Is
doesn't
Discord dead?
not boardable?
I mean, it might be more suspicious if there's just a ship out.
I only mean like 10 foot. So if someone has to jump, you'll hear him.
It will need to stay moored, otherwise you will have to fly alongside the
I
ship.
mean, we can just
You're not docked, you
secure
don't come
up,
with.
like, wherever you get onto it, you know? We can always do watches if we're that worried.
Yeah, for watches is a good idea.
Okay, so you're gonna attempt to get a long rest.
We're
Yeah.
gonna attempt it.
The long rest. The one thing I want to point out is last time we took a long rest after a big attack, we got attacked in our sleep.
Do we want to
do we
take a
want to-
short rest before we take a long
I'm
rest?
happy to stay up for the
I'm
first
about-
4 hours.
Do we want
Hello?
to... Do
Am I
we...
back?
Yeah,
You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Do we want to take a short rest before we take a long rest, just in case? Like, just have
What
a
point
little
did I-
sit and bandage our wounds.
At what point did I cut out?
3
When you
minutes ago.
started.
Okay. So I was saying about Atlas sending a message to Alara through the sending stone that she has.
I can do
Just to
that.
touch base, see what's going on, see what she can hear. You know, maybe do some scouting.
Thing is, Tracky and the Gladiators are heading to a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
but they're probably not
they're
going to reach her till
rest.
tomorrow.
They're gonna rest before
Oh,
they
right.
reach her. So I'm saying, should we touch base now? Have her maybe put her ear to the streets.
I don't think Atlas
see what the
has
word is.
a sending stone link to Alara. I think she gave it to the Starwind, didn't she? So she would have to
Yeah.
use her hollow strap, and she just spent her last second of the spell slot healing the command.
Yep.
Never mind.
C'est la vie.
Never mind.
On that point, is it worth us trying to tell the Serenade that it's safe to dock? Do we know if it's safe to dock?
There's still the city's countermeasures. Like, there's still weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Tracky was talking about. He was like, maybe that'll be a good target to go. Like, it looks like. I mean, what's everyone's insight?
Not good. 11. Passive. Yeah.
Passive, 17.
What was your Astra?
16.
And what was your Vulgar?
16.
12.
Okay, so I think Astra and Atlas would pick up the
I love that whenever it's what's everyone's inside, it's like Astra and Atlas see all.
yeah.
And the boys know nothing.
The womanly insight, you know.
Our womanly intuition.
Tracky, even with the victory, Tracky did seem pretty disheartened. But no one really pushed on him too much.
That's because I don't give a shit what he's feeling. Fuck that guy.
So
I'm also not very good at conversation, but
That honestly makes it
tried.
funnier because it just suggests that Atlas is like, he seems really upset about something. Fuck him. It's in character.
But yeah, as you all go to bed down for the evening, can someone roll me a d20, please?
Okay, but I'm taking a short rest before my long rest.
I don't
I
think
am
have
staying up for an hour to relax.
any. Oh, I've got one dice left.
Take a short rest.
Yeah, and Volga's staying up for the first 4. Or for a good couple hours.
Oh, and then.
Rest. Using the rest of my.
Okay.
Roll one.
In a row? Okay, no short rest.
You know, I'm actually alright, health-wise. It turns out when you're charging up a cannon, nobody really shoots you that much. Probably because they didn't know what the fuck I was doing. They'll probably try to do that a lot more now.
those are more pressing targets, like people
Yeah.
at them and shit.
Alice is just kind of hanging out on the back, touching a weird tube on her shoulder. They're like, eh.
Yeah, I think Cyrus will also stay up with Volgear while the others take the first sleep.
Sure. So you set for the first 2 hours, and then
I was about to say, did you want to take the second one?
Oh no, yeah, I'll do that instead. Actually, I'll take the second watch.
Okay. So he's
Oh, no, I'm just
technically there's 4 watches. So Volgar's can take the first 2.
Alice will take a watch.
He's staying up for the
She
first
doesn't
4
care
hours.
when.
Volgar, you just to remind you are not an elf, yeah?
Yeah, no, I'm not an elf. So I said I was only taking 1 4-hour slot.
I'll take the second.
So you're taking 1 2-hour slot because there are 4
Sorry.
2-hour slots.
Oh, 4 2.
If you were an elf, you could take 2 because you're trans.
Yeah.
But
no,
you
no,
are
anymore.
not an elf.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Nobody is.
Nobody is.
Volgar taking the first watch. Then
Sorry,
Cyrus.
I thought they were in
Quiver
3
if
4
you
hour
take the
sections. That's why I said 4
watch.
hours.
Cyrus taking the second one.
They may attack before it's
Third or fourth?
night.
You do
I'll
have like
take-
buddies.
Alice
I'll
will
take
offer to
fourth.
take the last
Okay,
watch.
cool.
Mostly because she
well-
doesn't want Cyrus to wake her up, but she's not gonna say that. She'll just offer to take the last watch.
It's like, I'll take first watch. I'll take second. I'll take the last one. Eros, do you want to take a watch, or Astra? Do you want to take a watch?
I don't mind. I can.
Maybe she just wants to get a good sleep in, you know, before she takes her
I know.
watch.
I'll get you after my watch, and then you can get Atlas, and Cyrus will just look at Atlas.
He just stares through you.
He doesn't know what you're looking at, or do you have your I keep forgetting. Are you masked or not?
I don't fucking remember at this point. I don't think so, because I have the star mark
You have to
on.
have the star mark
Okay.
on for your weapon. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he just eye contact.
Although, to be fair, it's still kind of hard to tell what Alice is looking at because her eyes are just entirely black. Like, she doesn't have a visible pupil or, like, sclera or anything.
What do I get with a 12 insight?
She's looking through you. She's looking at you, but not at you.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the idea that Atlas is kind of like trying to work out like what someone in shades is looking at. Like, you can kind of see their eyes a bit, but like not really. If it's dark, it's like void.
She doesn't have the white, does she?
She has no
just
whites in
black.
her eyes. They're just fully, like, her pupil and eye are the same color pretty much. I imagine if you caught them in the light, you would obviously be able to tell the difference between, like, the depth. But, like, just to glance at her, it's like looking at, like a mouse's or a rat's eye, you know? Like, it's just a little black.
Thank you for that, Mary.
What are you giggling at?
She sent me the picture of Star-Lord when he's looking at the team, and then Thor drifts into the vision, but Star-Lord still isn't looking at him.
I feel like Thor Cyrus in this.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Look
got
at
that.
me, Atlas.
If I could get some perception checks from the 4 watchers, please. Volgear, Cyrus,
Perception.
Beros, and Atlas. Unless anyone else is joining in.
Oh, fuck me. I see fuck all.
Volgear.
I wish to
Oh,
percept
Volgear.
things.
I'm too in depth in my very heavy.
So is Cyrus!
You guys don't perceive shit.
Volgear spends his entire watch playing patty cake with a dragon. Cyrus spends his entire watch playing patty cake with a dragon.
No, Cyrus spends his entire watch trying to work out what the fuck Atlas's problem is.
Yeah, just
Just
Figure out
getting
what we're
increasingly more frustrated. Till by the time he goes to wake up Beros, he's like weirdly aggressive about it.
They're like, Atlas, it's your turn. She's like, what did I do? And I'm like, nothing.
No, but you're waking up
Astra.
you're waking up Beros, not
Astra.
Atlas. So
I'm
it's
looking
like
up Astra. Oh, wait. Why did...
No,
Okay,
Beros.
Beros. I thought Astra was taking a turn. Beros, yeah.
So you just wake up Beros like, it's your turn.
Alright. Luckily, despite the patty caking watchers, nothing bothers you, and you all gain the benefits of a long rest. And that means you all level up. So we will take a little break when you guys want to update your character sheets. We'll be back. And we're back. Right, so the party rest aboard the Mistweaver.
Since Atlas has a final watch, she will ferret around the ship and see if there's any food on there that she can make breakfast with.
Okay, make just a general investigation.
Investigate. 13.
With a similar kind of layout to the Starwind, like the galley is actually in the same place. Potentially you might have made it at the same shipyard at some point. But yeah, you get in there, you find the pantry, you kind of go through. The supplies on this ship are not like fresh supplies. It's all like, you know, dried, like not quite trail rations, but like any meat you find is all heavily salted. There's like salted fish. There's no fresh vegetables or anything like that. But there's probably like things like potatoes that last a long time, like kept like in the dark. You know, there's a variety of cooked utensils, things like that in the kitchen that are free to use if you wanna.
Yeah. Alice will, you know, fry up some potatoes and meat into a hash. Maybe make some porridge if she finds oats anywhere.
Sure, make a cooked utensils check.
I don't have those.
Then make a how does Atlas cook? Does Atlas cook with feeling, or does she cook to like a recipe and like?
Oh no, it's vibes. Atlas cooks on vibes.
And then just make a wisdom check, straight wisdom.
7.
Not great.
Edible.
Whenever you go to add the salt, the top of the salt shaker falls into the pot and into the pan. Sorry, and so does a lot of salt. So the salted meat becomes very salted meat.
You gotta do that thing where you try and like scoop it out, but it's all mixed in now. And
Yeah.
Adding sugar to try and counteract the salt.
Wonders why we eat it and then suddenly just everything gets sucked.
I'm just imagining Atlas with like her big long owling fingers trying to like pick the salt lid out, like shit.
Getting hot, it's like a metal salt. But yeah, you
There is food when people wake up.
you all awake to the
It's
smell
food.
of fried potatoes and like a refried like salted salmon. And yeah, it's like saltfish, so it's edible. Overcooked because a lot of the chef's time was spent trying to fish out the top end of a salt shaker. Little rubbery, and the potatoes a little bit too soft. But yeah, it's edible. It's hot food as well. Nice. Welcome treat. the elves with you as well. Like if Dry's Tears do partake also.
Did Cyrus find any kind of like hologram device on like the captain's quarters or anything?
Yes, it's probably down in the like the crew quarters, like in the recess area. There's like a like public link feed that like connects it to just like public like broadcast systems. But there's also in the like captain's quarters, there appears to be a different system. It looks like this actually is almost similar to what was in the Tilm Times. They got like a broadcast system, you think, looking at it, Sarah. So you see like, it's got like some kind of input and has like a return speaker as well.
Okay. He's definitely turned on the main broadcast system during breakfast, just like see if any announcements are made. And he will mention the broadcast system to the others while they're eating.
And like it's kind of crackling in the background, like the broadcast is kind of going off. It's like, today's weather, as we're above the clouds, it'll be a nice sunny day. We're planning to dip below the cloud layer at 4 p.m. to get a nice refreshing thing. The canopy needs refreshed, and this kind of like whole like back and forth.
I bet that weatherman has an easy as shit job when you're above the cloud 99% of the time. It's like the weather in Nightfell, where it's like, it's hot and sunny because it's a desert.
Whenever you kind of like get...
I hate it when he rolls things.
You do hear a broadcast, and you know the voice that rings out. The
Doesn't even get a syllable out before Atlas, still eating breakfast, is just like at the screen.
like radiant, warm tones of Galadriel fireside. Hello, people of Tilm. I hope you're all having a wonderful. This is the launch eve. The street parties will happen tonight, all along the upper district. Please do not be alarmed at the ongoing unrest in the rest of the city. These terrorists are simply out to scare us, to deter us from taking what needs to be done. This next great step for the Elvish people, for the Elvish race. So come tonight, eat, drink, be merry. This will be, as the Archmage has said herself, the Astral Blessing Ceremony. And then, at midnight, as it turns to Fayday, we will aim our sights towards the beautiful moon of Harbinger, and we will fly up to join it. Prance around the belt of Lush, and then we will fly until we see Are, even though it is nighttime, because that is the power we will have. Midnight tonight. Parties kicking off from sunset. Look around your local street. Some will be organized, I'm sure. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local counselors, and we're more than happy to help. And this transmission close.
Right, we don't have very long then. So, what's the plan?
We need to do something big. Take out an engine or something.
We don't know where anything is. Engines, life support.
Well, we do have 2 ships now. If we can avoid the cannon underneath or take it out.
I just
It'll
wish
give
we
us the
could get a
freedom to-
broadcast out to the people. I mean, they're able to talk to them and create stories, and I wish
there's
we
a
could talk to them.
There's a broadcast system in the captain's quarters.
Then why
I'm
don't
not
we
sure
talk
what
to
the-
them?
I'm not sure what the range is or what channels it can reach, whether we have to be flying over the upper and middle district in order to reach them. I'm not entirely sure how the technology works. Volgear might be able to figure it out, you might be able to figure it out, but there is some kind of broadcasting system. Maybe it's like when they flew overhead saying, please stay in your homes, you know, maybe it's that kind of system. I don't
Then
know.
maybe we go there and we, at the very least, I don't know, argue back against being called terrorists. Tell them if you're scared, if you don't want to stay here, you shouldn't be partying, you should be rising up. Tell them we can get them out.
Yeah, we could offer them evacuation, true evacuation. Those that don't want to stay, we can ferry them out of here with the Dawnbreaker.
And then at the very least, if they decide to attack us, then it looks pretty awful who you're willing to kill your own citizens rather than have them leave.
We do have the entire lower district. If we tell anyone who wishes to leave to make their way there, and that they will be given safe passage.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well, right?
I think
We
also
might not
maybe
be able to stop this from ascending, but at the very least, we can get people out. That might be the best we can do.
We should maybe check in with our other people, with Alara, Trekkie, the two teams holding the wall, see what they have learned or come by.
Well, Lara's been behind in the middle district for a long time. She'll know what the mood is there.
I feel like maybe getting people off is the best course of action, because if we take out the support system or an engine, we could just end up killing more innocent people.
There is only so much we can do without more death.
Yeah.
Why don't we try and get a message to Alara, find out what they're doing, what they know. We'll let her know that we're thinking about putting a broadcast out.
We still have the someone can use magic to supercharge their hollow strap, get a message to her. Trekkie's with her, and he can use the sending spell so they can always report back to us at least.
I
without us
thought
having to expend.
I thought Astra had a way to contact Trekkie.
Yeah, I believe if she uses up some of her magical power, she can amplify her hollow strap's ability to contact him. I think
Well, you guys
their
are having
hollow
this
straps are
conversation.
paired.
Astra does receive sending.
Oh, there we go. That's handy.
Astra met Alara. She's hurt. Lost her team. Managed to take out most positions in the middle district. Watchers pulled back to upper district. Have intel. And then the message ends.
So we
We pretty
push
much
into the
already-
middle district and try and meet up with them.
I think
Fly the ships over to the theater.
Flying the
Use
ships
that
over
time.
might not be a great idea. What if they smack us out of the sky?
We could have them meet us at the wall. If they've pulled out of the middle district, they should be able to move quite freely through the middle district. We can move up through the lower district, meet them halfway.
But
It'll gather.
Alara's injured.
Um,
Is there anywhere the Undercity comes up in the middle district?
Multiple points.
Why don't we try and move through the Undercity, get ourselves as close as we can, then move up into the middle. We can get a look ourselves.
these ships are rather large compared to the
A
gondola. I
gondola
don't-
would fit, but one of the cutters would not fit.
I'm not saying we do it on the ships. I'm saying we leave people with the ships and we go, just us. Elite team. And just get all of us together and make a plan.
There are a couple of gondolas as well, which would be a military dock.
Yeah.
If you wanted to,
So-
You could also
I
do
would say you
that.
probably have like 3 or 4.
Well, with the gondola being the size that they are, we could probably fly them through the streets. It'll be a lot faster than moving on foot, but we won't draw any attention to us by flying through the sky.
Taking Tawa is going to be a nightmare. Does he fit in a gondola?
No, he would either fly behind us or stay here.
I don't think leaving him here is a good idea.
I would agree with that, unfortunately. But yeah, he won't fit on a gondola with us. So even if we take a gondola and you fly on him and steer him in the right direction, we could land in the theater, meet up with Trekkie and Alara and the gladiators to find out what the situation is.
Sure. And then, worst case scenario, if we do end up in a fight, we're all here. Tarawa is a pretty big force on his own. We should at least be able to make a dent in anyone who attacks us and get out of there.
Well, I'm hoping if they've pulled out of the middle district, they're mainly going to be focusing on the upper.
Me too.
Which means if we stay clear of it, we shouldn't be forced into an engagement.
So
it also means that we may be able to relish our forces back up to their fighting standard.
So we're going to go through the Undercity gondola until come up kind of here-ish. And then get ourselves just straight there. Give the upper city a wide berth.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, no time like the present.
Yeah. Finish eating up.
And then you, what's the plan? What is the first step you guys want to take?
We're going to get a gondola.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to get in the gondola.
First things
what's
first. Travel to the, notify the people on the other ship what the plan is.
What we're doing.
Tell them both to hold the fort with the ships, that we're going to go and basically get everybody up to speed, get everybody back together. We will message them or something if we need them to come to us, or we will come and get them.
Sure, probably use a second or third level spell slot to relay to Trekkies, like we're on our way. Where can we meet?
I think you can just reply to those for free.
You reply for free.
Yeah, well, just reply saying that.
What do you say? We're on our way. What does he say?
Where can we meet? Where's best? Because we don't physically know where they're at.
You get no response.
Then I guess we just head up towards last known location of Alara.
Yeah, we'll head to the safe house. Maybe we could land the gondola like in this patch underneath behind the buildings, and then make our way to the safe house. So if we go like in an arc.
Yep.
And you're taking the Chimera?
Yes. Via the Undercity though, so he's not going to be as obvious.
So we're coming out of this.
Yes, we're going to come out of that one.
Land here.
The gondola cannot go through those tunnels. The gondola will have to come out of one of the open holes. The Chimera can just about fit because it can squeeze. The gondola can't squeeze. It's not a creature.
Could we
Okay,
fly,
why don't you guys fly through the Undercity as far as you can, because you're a gondola anyway, so you'll be less conspicuous, and Atlas will get herself up to here and like wait for you guys to regroup.
You're probably better flying that. Maybe?
As the elven presenter stated, the middle city is still filled with people and they're preparing for a celebration. I don't know how they're going to react to a chimera flying overhead, so maybe you take the long route and fly in an arc to like avoid as many people as possible, and we will just meet you at the safe house. Sure. If anything happens, send us a message, and we'll come and reinforce you.
Sure, I'll try and sneak them through.
Okay, so
Tevlok can carry 2 people, can't he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody should go with you, just for backup.
No, please, don't all clamor at once. It's too much.
It was more than I thought that you might resist.
Barros is needed to fly the gondola. I'll go with you if you're
I'll go save you. Putting up with it.
Trusting to sit on the Chimera's back. That's a character development, huh, Volgir?
Which means I'm closer to the heart if I need to stab it.
Don't worry, it's quite comfy up there.
Especially if you get right in Merlot's mane, because it's all fuzzy and soft.
Oh yeah, you've had a ride, haven't you, Barrett?
Yeah, I think I ate a
Chimera's,
few
like,
of
reading its
its main
book.
hairs.
You can probably pay good money for that in some weird hippie shop, right? Chimera fur. Sounds like an ingredient.
It sounds like it's something by a circus. And you get some.
I bet a bard would look great in a cape made from chimera.
I feel like it'd be heavy.
As you're all sat here talking, the Chimera turns the last page in the book, and then the book just like pulses with like a weird, and it just like goes.
Did you find a magic book?
Can I see if I can look at the book? Was that in Draconic?
Yes, that was the cock.
I feel like Volga's walking over to go look at this book and then.
I feel like Volgar's like, no.
Yep. I take it back. You
That
go
was
right
a
on your own.
proper sentence. Look at you.
Only
I'm sorry.
small words, but yes.
What's happening?
He's talking. Proper talking.
Like proper, like.
Grumbling.
And it's not just
Like
like
they're
it's like
people.
there's an echo there. It's like you hear they're all talking like almost in unison, or like it's maybe even slightly in canon where one says a word, one says a word, and one says a word. It kind of like varies and they overlap each other a lot. It's very discordant to listen to.
Alice tilts her head one way and then the next.
What book was it reading again?
I'm afraid to go near
I'm
it.
not sure.
Find out.
And then Atlas will approach. Be like, so, what's the book? Can I see?
Still can't read word on front. Like notice it to you.
Atlas will have a look.
Yeah, this book Atlas. It says on the first like the main cover.
Is this an Elvish by any chance?
It is an Elvish book. Yeah, it has a
Atlas is like, yes. I don't read this. So she will instead hold it out to Monkey.
Atlas, as you pick it up and you're like, an Elvish book, and as you look at it, the words change to probably Orin, or if you have Orin, or Aarakocra.
I don't speak Orin.
Oh, well.
Alan don't get it. Only Aarakocra.
Do you have a native language, or is it just common?
Druidic, if that's a language that can be written in.
You would see it written in like Druidic symbols and stuff like that, and it reads Tome of Understanding.
It's the Tome of Understanding. That mean anything to anyone?
No,
I'm gonna do some kind of check. What check do I need, Harry?
Arcana check,
I
please.
will also roll an
I'm gonna
Arcana
help.
check.
I wanna do-
It is, but Cyrus probably might not.
15.
11.
Cyrus, you don't know what this is. Atlas, a Tome of Understanding. You've heard of like books like charged with magic, and if you study them intensely enough, they can give you like a benefit that can help you increase your
So I can guess enough that like this book probably magically helped them get smarter.
Yeah.
Well, that sure is a find.
What?
The book, I think it's there are these books that are kind of infused, I guess would be the word, with magic, and if you read them and study them for long enough, they can permanently make you better. It's stronger
it
or
would
more
actually be a
charismatic.
Tome of Clear Thought.
Fair. Stronger or more charismatic or that kind of thing.
Understanding would be more
Chimera.
wisdom-ish, wouldn't it?
I think the Chimera
Read
found one
a
and
magic
studied
book.
it and got more intelligent.
So let me get this right. Not only did this chimera nab a good chunk of the treasure, it also found a book that's probably now useless.
I mean, yes,
used it.
but you didn't find the book, so
I think with
We
15
didn't exactly have much chance.
the book's runes and stuff do faintly glow. It looks like after some time it may be usable again, but not for some time, you imagine.
I mean, it might become useful again. I don't know how long these things take to reset, but
We don't have time to linger on this.
I would argue that having a chimera who can talk is far cooler than being slightly more intelligent.
Volga is just going to ignore everyone, turn his attention straight to the chimera and just go, will you eat everyone that dies, irrespective on who they are?
No.
Who won't you eat?
Looks at like everyone, kind of all the heads, like scanning like everyone in turn.
Who looks tasty?
Wouldn't eat most of you.
Why?
This is where we find out that it would only eat Atlas.
I was about to say it's
Delicious
this is
bird.
where it just goes, say why, and it goes, not enough meat. You've got the small skinny thing, the bony.
That guy catches fire, he's gonna be too spicy, hurt my mouth.
Hell.
Spicy meatball.
Alex shocks every time we try to eat Astra.
Can I insight check a chimera?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to value, at least understand, like having like people to help it, and it's been healed by something.
I feel like inciting a chimera would be difficult purely because which head do you look at?
Yeah.
It's like,
Is that 3 inside checks, 1 inside check?
That would be funny if you roll like really well on one of them and it's like, that goat's giving away everything.
I'm gonna kind of walk away out of earshot and start talking sword. And have you ever heard of a chimera that walk, kill everything?
He says to his sword that can talk.
I have not
Was-
seen a chimera myself. No.
Okay.
Tell
intelligent-
us, chattiness
Okay,
aside,
sounds
we
odd.
do have
Means
things
it.
to do.
Yes, intelligent. A chimera aside, we can't dawdle.
This-
We are on a time crunch. Right, Volgair.
Tell,
Alice,
you're
taking...
intelligent. You got a preference for who's on your back? Because, Volgir does not seem happy with your new development.
I will ride it. I mean, I'll be happy about it.
I would, but I know how prone these two are to dying, so they need someone who can heal them.
Yeah, keep an eye on him.
That was one time. Maybe 2 times.
That was multiple
I will
times,
point out
Roger.
that you do die as well.
I know, but less often than these two.
Asimar,
Yeah,
not
but more
great at keeping
dramatically.
themselves alive. Which is ironic for an angelic race.
I would argue that you die
Occupational
in a
hazard.
more severe way than these two.
Less talk, more get on the chimera.
Fine.
Do you need a boost?
Just glare. How the fuck do you get on then, Shorty?
Alice beats
Wings.
her wings once and gets onto the chimera.
Cyrus is going to attempt to just pick up Volgair and throw him onto the back.
Okay.
Don't throw him, he's hefty, you'll hurt his back. Tell us, not
You
Volgir.
try and bang him over the head with the storm sword as he throws me.
No,
Uh,
not
you
You
20.
can make
No,
an
no.
athletics or acrobatics check to avoid being effectively pushed here.
Oh, it was almost a nat 20.
But you like try to react, you're so taken aback by Atlas, you're like, oh, and then suddenly like
yeah.
you land
Ignore
on the back of the
Has anyone else seen the clip of the cat and the Munchkin cat, and the cat's like holding the Munchkin away, and the Munchkin like short little legs can't reach?
No, Mary has summed this up perfectly with one meme, and it's Gimli. Trust me, you're gonna have to trust me.
Just Cyrus, don't make me make my Drake ice.
Look, we don't have time for infighting. We're on a deadline. Get going. We'll meet you at the CF house. And then he's gonna start heading to the gondola.
Yep. Have some people, you've got Volgir and Atlas with Chimera. Beros, Cyrus, and Astra go over the gondola. Okay. You're just leaving your other guys here behind.
We've told them that, you know,
we'll
what's
just
vaguely happening.
We'll maybe tell them to go onto the ship with the other... Oh no, there's no room. Never mind. We'll just tell them to, yeah, hold that ship.
Cool.
Oh shit, we have another grip in the Undercity down here.
Yep.
I mean,
Can we get them in passing and tell them to go to the docks?
You can call down to them, yeah. You said they were defending the entrance, I think was what you left them doing.
Yeah, so while we're flying towards this
I mean, is it a
entrance-
good idea to pull everything back? Because last time we did that, everything got set on fire.
Maybe tell them to come up and reinforce these two.
Mm-hmm. In the library.
Mm.
We don't want to take that library again.
No, because the library's defended. So if we have them move up to like 2 go here and 1 goes here, just to reinforce.
I didn't think there was anyone in the library.
I thought the gladiators were in the library and then we took them out.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, they were, and now they're up at the top.
Yeah.
If we tell the ones at that entrance to reinforce the wall checkpoints
Sure.
as we're like flying towards this Undercity entrance, we can tell them reinforce the wall, and then we'll go through the Undercity to like here, and then we'll fly across.
While avoiding the...
While avoiding the upper, so it'll be like... So from where we are to here, then into the Undercity, then up through this bit, and then we'll fly around to the safe house. I think that's the course we're taking.
Righty. So you fly to them. Where are you sending these guys exactly? You're sending them back to the ships, or?
We're sending them to the wall.
Reinforced walls.
Sure, so they're gonna support the wall. And then you guys are flying up towards the upper side, the middle city. Sure, because it has been unmanned and contested, you guys all successfully make it there. So you fly over, Chimera included, and you arrive at Alara's safe house near the theater.
I say we need to push these guys, all these guys, all these guys, over to wherever the entrances are and block that in.
Well, let's talk to Alara first and see what has happened.
Well, let's get this intel.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlas will knock.
Atlas knocks. And
Is there a place for the Chimera to stay in this safe house, or is it just gonna like chill outside?
I think we
I would
might have
say
to squeeze him in.
yeah, it can come in temporarily,
He can
but
come
can't
in, he just
rest
can't
or anything.
stay.
You know? You
Okay.
can't gain the benefits. No one can gain the benefit of a rest while a safe house is overcrowded.
Because
you
it's
just know
hard to sleep when a chimera is standing an inch away from your face.
If I remember, she had like a courtyard
yeah.
in this safe house. Yeah, can we just have the Chimera like?
No,
plop
he's
into
coming in the
courtyard?
house.
Yeah, we'll meet in the. He'll go over the house into the courtyard.
No, he's coming through the front
her
door.
house,
Go through
her
the
house is
door.
quite small. She has a back garden, like a small yard
He's
area. but
coming
it's
through
very
the front door. He will squeeze.
Sick. Atlas.
Can I suggest
Atlas
that
knocks
the
more
Chimera-
rapidly.
Volgir is going to turn around and go, I suggest the Chimera stays at line of sight for the first 2 seconds so we don't give her a heart attack.
I'm here. It's fine.
like 2 foot in front of
I
the
don't-
door the second she opens it.
It doesn't. I don't think the chimera has to go through the front door.
They're not that scary.
He's very large. They are very large.
They're as scary as a goat is scary. It's fine.
That's just one of the 3 heads. There are
Yes,
2
but
much
the
more
9-foot
frightful.
goat is still inconvenient to shove into a house.
Yeah, I'm not
I
saying.
am-
Not to mention.
He, says the goat head.
Huh. What about
Hello.
the other two?
Says the lion. And they, says the dragon head.
Oh God.
Speaking of, are you guys cool with the names I've given you, or do you have your own names, or?
Previously, we were just left, right, and middle.
Do you like being that better, or do you like Marsan, Aramon, and Merlot, or?
Suffices.
Okay.
I like my name.
Good. I'm glad you like your name, Marsan.
Take
Fucking goat.
Ryan's got emotions about the goat.
I'm not prepared for some of this shit. Okay, knocking on the door. Cyrus is now knocking on the door.
Yep, you knock on the
Above
door.
Atlas's head,
You hear
trying to
movement from
block the
inside.
view of the
Before
chimera.
we do this, Volgir's gonna cast Reduce on the
Okay.
Chimera.
I appear to have gotten smaller. We indeed appear to be smaller.
Don't worry, it doesn't last. It's like when you get bigger.
Yeah, we gotta make sure he's in a large area in the next hour. He's gonna look at everyone. We're all responsible for this shit now.
Okay. After you knock and knock again and knock another time.
I love the idea of like knocking. It's like, do you think they found us? It's like muffled arguing for outside. It's like, nah, that's them.
Atlas, you refresh your sheet and look at your extras. Tewa should be added in there properly now. And as you kind of like are basically, you realize that like someone has pulled the curtain back a corner of it in the front room and is looking at you all in the street. And then you hear a rapid movement for the door, which opens. You have to hear a lock being undone, and you see Tracky standing there. Goes like, "You better come inside fairly quickly before you get spotted."
Yeah, let's get in there.
We'll squeeze inside.
Oh,
Tewa takes a
Tawar is
little
still
bit of
not very intelligent.
yeah. Enough to form basic sentences
Yeah,
and to speak, but that's kind of all. They're not like
Yeah.
fucking Albert Einstein.
but
How
they're
many
very
Kazes is he smart?
like half
Probably
a
2
Kaz.
Kazes.
Well, I don't
He's
think
probably 2
I think it's
Kazes.
more than half a Kaz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was Kaz?
Kaz, like
Kaz had a
eight.
minus. I think he had a -2 to intelligence. Yeah.
Oh, then he's only a little less than a Kaz. He's got a
He's a-
-3.
He's a 3/4
But
Kaz.
He's very strong, and he's very con, and he's more charismatic than Cyrus, so you know.
So he's Kaz. Good to know.
As we walk in, the first thing Volgir's gonna do is start pushing things out of the way. Like everything, just by like pushing it on his own, just getting it out of the way to make us.
Lara's
look
lovely.
Alice is going to be looking for Alara, because apparently she's hurt.
Yep, you see Lara. She doesn't actually look that badly hurt. You see, she's been bandaged up a little bit, and her wounds have been like closed up. Notably, there was no one else here apart from Tracky, the gladiators who are all kind of there. You see that the gladiators have looks like they've prepared some food in the kitchen, and Alara's eating some of it. And you see the stone is like, "Don't worry, I learned this recipe from Mama Widow in the Undercity, or whatever Tracky kept calling her. He refused to call her by any name, so we never. He also didn't let her speak much. We just kind of crashed on her couch. She was quite awkward, to be honest. She cried a lot. She was very upset. So we cooked food with her. It was fun."
Mother Widow is so not appropriate.
Alice will go to Alara and be like, "So, Yasin and Fiernick are fine,
Good.
but we lost everyone else."
And I knew the rest. Not exactly what I wanted to hear, but I
And
also
honestly, keeping Yasin alive has been a
Yeah.
journey.
Challenge.
I was expecting
A
that he was
challenge.
alive, that everyone else might still be alive, so it gave me a little bit of false hope, to be honest.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Fjornik, on the
uh,
other hand, I don't think the Archmage herself could keep that one down.
She can hold her own.
She took out, like, did you see her in that last fight? She was just... Whew. This is Tower. We met him at the Self-Carriage Maximus. He, she, they is chill.
I genuinely thought I was hallucinating, sorry. Tracky gave me
No,
some
it's a
things
co-
to help with the pain.
Apologies in advance
will-
next time.
Trust me, we're all still processing it, but we were told you had intel.
Yes.
And fair warning, I'll tell you now,
No.
if that thing it gets bigger in the next hour, that's normal.
Not to cut the formalities, but as I'm sure you've heard, we're on a time crunch now.
Here, and she points to the table in the middle of the room, and you see there is a rough-hewn map of the Middle District, Upper District, and the Castello. The lower city is like roughly mapped out, but nowhere near as much detail. And she reveals to you all of the enemy points in the Upper and Castello.
Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, let's go. Let's just leave.
How many charges does that cannon have left?
Every time I use it, it seems to work a little worse, so it can go real big one more time and then significantly smaller each time. Also, every time I use it, there is a risk that it just blows up in my hands.
Okay, I'm assuming we're not comfortable with carpet bombing.
Well, bits of things you might need to know.
Why would we bomb carpets?
We worked out the cathedral is the base for the dome system. They've used some kind of magic to accelerate the growth of the cathedral itself, and have warped it to cover the whole city. That's why they can hopefully be able to breathe in the Expanse. They're hoping that that's enough. It seems solid enough. Damaging it might reduce the.
If it's coming from the cathedral, does that mean that it's working similarly to my star mark? Like Saparna essence?
Maybe, yeah. Honestly, I don't know much about any of that stuff. I don't even...
I also just listen to her and be like, Saparna, why would you let them do this?
What do you mean, my dear?
Are you helping them breathe from the cathedral? Or are they just like,
If I did not, they would die.
if you didn't, they wouldn't ascend because they couldn't breathe?
I am honestly... I'm not connected to my other shot. I can't tell
Okay, so
what they've done. I've not done that, this piece of me, but the other piece of me may have done it.
okay.
We're
so
all independent. They may
What would
have given
happen
good
if we
reason.
blew
There
up?
must be a reason.
we're not blowing up Saparna's cathedral.
I didn't even finish my sentence. But
You don't need to finish your sentence. I see Saparna's cathedral exploding in your eyes.
it's just a thought. If that's the source of the vines, then
I don't want to go to Fey Hell.
The engines as well, we believe, are located underneath the actual main sorry. The main building, the House of Arcanum, in there, we think. But hard to get to, a lot to wind through, you know.
There's no way we can do this. Not to come in with the negativity, but that is a lot of people, and we have lost most of our forces, and
What is the general the streams? We've got some from the lower. We've not had yet asked about the middle. You never know.
You guys haven't spent a time segment to, like, you know, survey your notoriety, city opinion, any of that stuff in a while, so, like...
Is it worth us doing
That's
that?
the kind of thing you could have sent one of your groups to do, but you've not been doing at all.
maybe we
I'm
should
gonna
do that
ask
before we make a statement, because if they're all
Yeah,
like, these
make a
people are horrible
decision.
terrorists, we probably shouldn't just show up like, hey, come hang out with us.
We
Alara,
should just probably leave.
I don't suppose you've heard any rumors or city opinion on us? Anything that you might have heard while you were mapping out these locations?
No, whenever you weren't getting in contact with me, I had no way to contact you, so we just had to start acting independently. We took out several checkpoints. There was a large, fairly substantial force at the large tree to the northwest. We thought maybe that was going to be the life support system originally. Maybe it was, and then after we took it down, it must have been relocated to the middle city, or the upper city.
I'm sorry that you've been sort of left here. We had a lot to deal with that we weren't prepared for.
That's fine. I heard you made a good place at the docks, the Self-Carriage Maximus, and even the library. We heard and saw what we could. We just couldn't make contact. We didn't have the larger forces defending the Undercity access really cut us off.
Yeah, and I sort of gave my sending stone away.
Well, that would explain why I couldn't hear you.
Well, that sending stone was given to the ship that actually brought us to the city, the Starwind Serenade. So there's a potential allied force that we could bring in if we need reinforcements. Although they will have to avoid the city's countermeasures for flying craft.
Why don't we try and find out what the people think of us, and if it comes out even slightly positive, we try and get a broadcast out to them, tell them, if you want to leave, we will get you out, come to the docks, and implore the city to turn off its defensive measures on us escaping, because you're going to blow up your own people.
Permit a peaceful exodus.
Yes.
A true exodus.
Yes.
I like the idea. I just worry based on how the previous Exodus was handled, whether or not they would honor such a thing. I feel like we should, if that's the route we want to go down, we should take one of those maybe smaller gondolas, put you on it with that big fucking gun of yours, and see if we can't take out that big gun before they can, go back on their word if they do agree to anything. Assuming they agree to it in the first place.
Well, maybe we should see if they agree to it in the first place, and then I can be there as a backup. That thing seems to take a second to charge, and I can create fog clouds, so I can probably at least give myself a little time.
Cyrus?
Why don't we...
You would know with your basic carpentry training and the time you spent with the guy who basically fucking engineered this thing, you could mount the Tev cannon that Atlas has on a ship's weapon mount. Atlas would still have to stay within like a connective range of it, depending on how close the connection has to be. You're not sure. Currently, the only link she has is a very tight one because it's close to her body, about 5 foot. But it would mean that like you could have a ship focus on the aiming and stuff like that, and it would make it easier for her. You also could do things like potentially if the ship was big enough to withstand the force, you could have Atlas charge it up and then move it into position as it's about to go. Like if like you could like hold you done it before, like holding in reserve as you draw your bow before you lean out and fire. It's like that same concept. Like while you're drawing the bow, you don't expose yourself because you're exposed. You only peek when you're ready to go. So it's like you could. The problem is with Atlas is if she's flying and holding it herself, or even on the ground because she's so little,
it yeets her out of the way.
If she has like a 5 foot reach of this thing, would someone else be able to hold the cannon steady while she powers it with the star mark?
Yes, as long as Atlas basically has to spend all of her. Basically, what you have to imagine is Atlas kind of like locks it in place, and then she's doing things like overloading the star mark, like forcing, like redirecting power down to it, charging it up, and that's all she's doing. But it takes all of her like magic concentration basically to force that out. She's like she's using the star mark effectively to like instead of to fly to power something. She's actively doing something in that sense. It has to be her who does it. You can't like start fucking like helping because like it's connected to her.
What I'm thinking of is
but you
either
could hold
one
it
might.
yes.
Yeah, like I could literally hold it and press the button and be like, "You tell me when to fire." Because I might be able to hold it steadier.
Or you could just hold Atlas like she is the weapon. Just hold her in place.
That would also work.
But just hold Atlas in place would work.
You still have the issue of you would then have to, if you were doing the thing of you're going to hide it, charge it, and peek and fire it, you would still have to overcome you as a humanoid would still have to overcome the weight of it. And this thing was throwing Atlas back like 20 foot at points. Like that's not
attaching it to,
small.
like,
That's
So as a preliminary thought, this is Ryan's brain in what he's thinking. So he knows Astra knows Fog Cloud. Atlas obviously has the star mark. Should need someone strong to help her support it, and we need a ship. So if Barros, Astra, Atlas, and Cyrus got on a gondola, moved within reach using Fog Cloud for cover, Cyrus holds it steady.
You don't think a gondola would be big enough to hold the force of this thing would be enough to throw a gondola off.
Yeah.
You'd need one of the big ships.
Okay.
Like,
Cyrus is basically
it is
just going to...
literally like put a fucking minigun on a rowboat and fire it, and the rowboat will turn. Like
I kind of want to see that happen, though.
Yeah. Cyrus will basically just spit out all that information and just be like, we could use the Mist ship. Forgotten its name already.
The Mistweaver.
The Mistweaver. Mount your cannon to the front of the ship. We hold it steady. Astra could cover us with fog clouds, which means you can focus on powering the device. Barros knows enough to steer it. Volgir can assist him. We have enough crew members to manage the ship. We could potentially take out the cannon.
Can I throw a completely out park different opinion here?
Sure.
What if we test the waters, see what they say, give ourselves a bit of time, and break the barrier above the upper district? Because if you break the barrier over the upper district, they're not going to want to suffocate themselves, are they?
The barrier covers the entire city. In order to break the barrier, we have to hit the Temple of Saparna, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be on board with that.
Well,
also, we have a lot of forces to get through. We're probably going to have to take...
I don't mean hit temple. I mean make a hole.
It'll probably just
has
grow
to
back.
be...
It's made out of vines.
You didn't see how quickly it grew, but it grew... I believe you guys saw it. It grew in the space of 1 hour, I think.
Yeah, like
you guys were
as soon as
away
we
for
got
an
up,
hour,
we
came back, and it was there. Like so, it was weird. That was fair for the size of it. That's fairly substantial.
So it's being channeled.
10,000 foot across in an hour.
At that point, is it still the Temple of Saparna?
The Temple of Saparna is definitely the heart that's like powering it. It's as if the Temple of Saparna was always this beautiful like woven thing of vines of like, you know, like if you remember like all the leaves that made like the little like it was stained glass window effects. It looks like someone has like Minecraft bone mealed the fuck out of it, and it's just grown straight up and then like parted out like a huge like almost like a mushroom like stalk, all the way around and like underneath the city.
Yeah. Volga's point
as Atlas already stated, she's not happy using the cannon on a Temple of Saparna. It's maybe not Saparna making it grow, but they're using her power, and I don't think Starmark versus Vine Bubble, I don't think it's gonna work the way we hope it will.
Maybe we could counteract it like the star mark absorbs the energy.
I still think we should try and get people out and ask the city to turn off.
If that was what we were going to do, why didn't we do that?
The problem...
Let everyone go.
Well, we weren't sure if they were going to let everyone go, and they didn't, as far as we know.
Also they were changing things. They were changing things based on magic and stuff. This is, if you want out, you want out. We have no ulterior motives for keeping magic users here, for taking magic users.
But it's still a case of if we get someone off.
Simple thing is, if they're not going to keep a treaty with their own people for an exodus, why the hell would they keep a treaty with us?
So what? Okay then, play devil's...
Which is why I say that we also get me down there with a cannon, and if we see even the slightest hint of that thing starting to power up, we shoot back.
Okay. You've seen the cannon.
At the very least. we might be able to open a dialogue with the people running this city. And they will either have to completely ignore us and keep dealing with the chaos we're creating, or they will have to open a dialogue and then they are negotiating with what they claim to be terrorists. Either way, it doesn't look good on them.
Well, they've already lost 2/3 of the city. The problem is, how fiercely are they going to do that last third?
Well,
let's
that's the
see
thing. If we offer now, like, hey, you've lost 2/3 of your city, we have a bargaining chip, we want everyone who wants to leave, take your city, then I don't know, okay? I don't know how war works.
Are we actually going to leave then?
Anyone who chooses to stay is choosing to stay. That is out of our control.
He's
We're
not
not going to force people
he's
to
not-
leave.
He's not talking about them, he's talking about us. About us leaving.
Because
Well,
what you're saying then is if we're letting them go, we're basically saying that there won't be any more issues.
look
does that
at this
mean,
map,
we are gonna
Volker.
leave?
There's no way we can take this. Hell, even if the city itself rose up, I don't think that they have the firepower to move against this. And at the end of it, there's an archmage with whatever level of Saparna's power. The original plan was to take that from her, but I don't think we're strong enough to take on a city and her. Our best hope is that we get out of here with some people alive and maybe return eventually.
So my question to you, Atlas, is, are you willing to let that piece of Saparna go, knowing the duty that you've been charged with? Are you willing to let it go in order to let the people escape?
My command was to keep doing what I'm doing. All I've been doing so far is what I think is right. So if I think it's right, maybe I wasn't meant to get this fragment of Saparna. Or not yet. Or maybe it's tainted in some way. I don't know. But maybe that wasn't the plan. I know you don't like the gods, but I have to trust that they trust me.
Well, as I said before, if I can aid you in your mission, I will. If this is the course action you want to take, I'll follow your lead.
I just... If I chase after the shard of Saparna and get everyone killed in the process, then I'm not doing what I set out to do anymore. I'm just chasing power.
That may be, ironically, just what Saparna wants.
Had to
Wouldn't
pick up
matter if
Tricksy
you-
God.
It wouldn't matter if you were... who won between you and Alara as far as she was concerned. Not to doubt your ability, but I'm sure the god would appreciate either one who could help them.
Well, the other thing that we haven't considered is that if we say to people that we are on the side of the people and that we are offering them a choice to leave if they want, some of them might not want to leave. They might want to reclaim the city. They may see us as more than just terrorists. They might
Well,
want to take up
then
arms
we
and
see
fight
what
as
those
well.
people do.
I was about to say, before we go
If
into the
everyone
what ifs
turns up
now-
to the dock saying, let's take the city, then we lead them.
Why don't we send out the gladiators and stop? If you keep talking, we're wasting daylight here. Let's just... we want to know what the city think of us. We should send someone now. And the
Yeah.
only group we have is either me, Alara, you, or the gladiators. The other ones are all the way down at the wall.
I'm going to put out a theory that we are not the right people for this job based on the fact that our descriptions are posted all over the city with terrorist on them.
Yeah.
Though the gladiators might be less inconspicuous. they
Don't worry,
are-
brother!
Yeah,
we will find a way to find out how the people think of you.
If anything,
I mean, if
it might
nothing
be
else,
better.
they're celebrities. They might, slip by.
Yeah. Find out what you can. get back to us as soon as you can. What are we gonna do while they're...
Figure out the plan.
We need to get back
Watch
to that
this
ship.
southern chimera.
We need to get back to the ship, and we need to put Volgir in front. There they go.
The gladiators leave. They like go. They just walk at the door.
Where did they even get that box?
If
We need to get back to the ship. We need to put Volgir in front of that transmitter and work out how to get a message out there. Because either way, we want to send a message, and we need to work out how to get it to as many people as we can.
As the gladiators
Why
are
don't
leaving,
we
Cyrus
split?
is going to say to them, meet us at the docks.
Don't
the
worry,
ships.
brother. The docks is where we're headed on a long walk. We're going to take a long stroll all the way down there, and we'll knock on doors as we go. Yeah! And I'm gonna stab someone. No, you're not gonna stab anyone, Nasha. Oh, Nasha's gonna stab someone.
Unless you get attacked, in which case, stab away.
Well,
Unless
quite
it's a
possibly.
civilian.
Come on, Milk Mogan. Scraps. Let's go.
Milk Moken.
The stone has left a slow cook on the hob. Please stir it in 40 minutes, and then it will be perfect.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
I think we will have left by then, but we'll pass the message on to Tracky, I guess.
Is Trekkie not coming with us?
Oh, does he have to?
Are we bringing everybody to the docks?
She's a part of this, whether or not you like it. And
Alright,
has-
so we're taking everyone?
we're taking everyone.
The
Is
slow cook
anybody
is
able
going
to
to go to
heal?
waste.
We can bring it with us.
I mean, we don't need to go right now. We can wait 14 minutes.
Is Alara's injuries able to be like healed further?
I thought she
or-
wasn't too bad.
You
She's
could be
not
healed
too
forever.
bad,
If
but-
you guys ask, Tracky will say, I've used all my magical abilities today healing her because she was about to die, and contacting you. I'm out. I've got my mace, and that's about it.
Cyrus just gives him a look, and then continues on.
Just to roll it back a second. So we're putting an entire island's fate on hold for 40 minutes while we wait for a slow cook.
Fine, we'll leave the slow cook.
Where else likes food?
Or I guess we can give it to Tawa. I don't think anything raw will make them
doesn't
sick.
get everything. That one doesn't get everything.
And
We
just-
save some of the goods for us. Some of the pleasure.
Did you say that Alara is a bit still injured?
She's very nearly healthy, but yeah, like she
She's
she
getting
could
one
be
more.
healed more.
That,
She's
that
getting
was
two
his
wounds on
breaking
me.
point.
There you go. She's getting
The
10.
treasure,
She's back to full.
okay, but that slow cook.
Not the stew.
This is where we take the city, and Tawa just rips the biscuit snake out the ground to bits, and I was like, alright, that's it.
I was waiting for you to be like, and we'll try to negotiate with her, and we'll try to get it one step faster, and Barrel's be like, and the biscuits. I was so waiting for this.
Oh shit! I forgot
Oh, it's
about
coming. It's coming if we get to those negotiations.
that. Ooh, I completely forgot that exists.
What?
Volga now can cast. Pinky.
You know an ice spell, don't you?
I like that we're all just
No.
gearing up in case we need to kill Cyrus. Like, everyone's just there, like, look, we're not going to, but if we need to, we can kill Cyrus.
Everyone started talking, and everyone was like, Cyrus is not the new biggest threat.
We can reason with Tawa now.
It's not even kill Cyrus, it's annihilate him.
Look, if you're gonna kill someone, you might as well kill someone, you know? Anyway, so we're gonna go across the city and try and Volgir the broadcast device, work out how that thing works.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go
Back
back
to
to
the
the dock
docks.
and get the ship?
Are we bringing everyone?
Bring everyone. At least
Leave the two on the wall. Just just
No.
to secure our border, or bring back everyone?
I think bring back everyone. Worst case scenario.
We may
We
as
all
well
get
take
out
the
of here.
Dawnbreaker then.
Yeah,
We-
but there's
we-
nothing
we'll-
stopping them then doing what they did before on us. I would say leave the two groups there. At least then we've got something there.
Well, maybe for now.
Because you want to protect the.
At the very
the
least,
people that have
until
been
we get the
injured and
message
the
out.
docs.
Yeah, once we know how the city feels and we get the message out, then we can figure out what to do with those two.
Because at the very least, then the group on the wall could, support people moving through, direct them, tell us if any watchers are coming through, and then they can take up the rear themselves.
If anything, the two groups in this area, I think, always need to stay, because irrespective of what they do, if we announce that we're going to open up a free removal, I feel like the Watchers are going to remove themselves from the upper city and push their way to the docks.
Also, it'll be a way of us controlling the number of people that come through.
Yes.
Like they can do spot checks, being like, "Hang on a minute, that's a guard," or I recognize him from. I recognize him from the Watchers. They're spies slipping in, or maybe some of the Watchers want out. We don't know yet, but having people on the border just for that little bit of security, I think, isn't a bad thing.
Okay, so let's get back to the ship and start messing around with that broadcast, see if we can't get it going.
Up and running. Yep.
Okay, so you guys head back towards the ship. So that this will take like a fair chunk of your morning, but then you're gonna basically spend your morning getting the broadcast up and running, and then going around basically trying to spread the word of this planned evacuation. Who goes to the docks, or do you all just hop aboard the ship and do you send Traki and Alara to the docks, or
I think we're all going, aren't we?
do you take the ship there as well? Because I thought you were taking the ship around the lower city and the middle city. Is that not? Are you not Blues Brothering the ship? One night only, escaping the city. The Blues Brothers. Is that not?
No, we're
not until we know what the
to come back.
gladiators know.
Fine.
And then
also
we'll
the
take
whole
the ship
point.
round.
Okay.
I think
In
the whole
that
point was
case,
me
you're
going
going to
down
lose
there
your
to
whole
sort
morning
out
because the gladiators have to spend a full time
Yeah,
segment.
we
working
understand.
on it. So is there
Yeah.
anything you guys want to do in that time? You could do things
How
like
long does it take us to get the
really-
broadcast up?
that will
So
be a
what are
time
the
segment.
what are the
So
the
should
guy-
we
what
spend
are
the morning getting the broadcast
No, as in turning it on and do it.
Oh, okay.
No time, but doing it will take a time. So
Okay.
it's ready to go.
What's-
No, that's
so we can
that's
spend the
the
morning
bit.
doing something else?
Yeah. So right
What
now,
about
morning.
what's-
So morning, the gladiators are doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone else is moving around. Is that all that's happening?
One sec. So what they're specifically just looking at our opinion.
City opinion. That's so they're spending their first time slot, and they're gonna find out the city's opinion of the Dryad's Tears versus the Archmage.
Okay.
Should we look at our notoriety? Although I imagine it's fucking sky high at this minute.
I've told you it's 8 billion. It's right there.
Yeah. Or should we sweep the lower city and see if we can gather up any more
was gonna
weapons
say,
or munitions for people that might join us?
Or
Could we
mark
not
out
do the
any
same-
more safe houses if we might need them.
Could we not just do essentially what the gladiators doing in regards but to the lower city? Because I assume they're not going to have
The
time.
city opinion will give you the city opinion of the whole city.
Oh, the whole bit.
Maybe it is worth sweeping the lower city, seeing if we can get any supplies, and even if we end up doing a mass exodus with a bunch of people, we're gonna need food and shit,
Yeah.
I think. Meanwhile,
Maybe we
Volgear
could
wants
attempt
to
a
go
mass
there.
exodus of the lower city. The lower city has never been fond
Yeah,
of
but
the
it's
upper
also
city.
half been burnt to shit.
Yeah, but they also
But that might be a reason.
exited them from the.
Yeah, they moved a lot of the lower city into the middle city.
So we'll
That was
sweep
the
the lower
only people
city.
who were sympathetic to the cause, though.
Yeah.
We'll sweep the lower city.
You guys
see
could
if there's
spend
any
the morning
survivors.
if you want going around the lower city, knocking on doors and recruiting people of hey, we're gonna try to do this thing. Do you want to help or do you
Yeah.
want to stay out of it?
Yeah, we can
That's
do
something you
that.
can do.
Yeah.
It'll take a full time thing. So
Yeah.
that's called acquiring assets, and that's something you guys have only done a couple of times. But you did it the last time in
Yeah.
the lower city, and you got a few more people from it. So it does work. It just takes time.
Let's do
I just
that,
think
at least so people have a heads up.
I want to whiz my way up here.
To the alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Volgear's gonna
I need
spend.
some
That means
stone.
Volgear's gonna go off and do his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll take his whole time segment to go up there and then come all the way back on its own. So
I think
Volga's
Cyrus is
going
gonna
to
try and recruit people from the lower city.
Yeah,
Anybody
everyone
sympathetic
else
or
recruiting people.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
using like the fact that they like started burning half the city
Hey, they're
down
literally
and-
willing to burn you down. Maybe come with us.
You've got Yasin, you've got Fjornik, got a medium untrained on their ship. You've also got a well-trained small on your ship. You've got a Lara, you've got Traki, you've got a small untrained unit on the walls and 2 well-trained mediums on the walls with arcane turrets. Are they doing anything, or are they all just holding ground?
I think all our hands on deck apart from the 2 guarding the main the middle district, just so they can.
Are
keep
they
them out.
also acquiring? Is it all acquiring assets? Is that what you're having everyone else do?
Yeah,
Well, we
I
still
think
want
so.
we still want the ones on the wall to be protecting the wall, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
So-
everyone else.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone minus them 2 and me.
Volger's off doing his own shit.
I'm just wondering,
Volga's off
is
for
there
a
is there
reason.
anything else that we could have? Do we need all of them to recruit, or can we have
we
like
can-
one
we
group
can-
do something else?
If we can get as many people as we can, because then at
We did
least
take a big
then-
drop in numbers because we accidentally got
Yeah.
them all murdered.
At least
Yeah,
then,
okay.
if this goes skew with, we have at least some buffer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
I need
we'll shout,
everyone.
but-
I'll roll one as well. Everyone needs to roll me a D100, please, to see how each of your groups do for recruitment.
Volga will shout before he disappears if anyone needs anything from the alchemist. And does shout, but if anyone goes near any leather workers, he wants some, or some smithy, he wants some armor.
I feel like Astra will probably go towards the Temple of Anapo, see if she can coax them.
I thought the Temple of Anapo had been
It's
shut
outside.
off.
It's outside.
It's
the,
outside the bubble.
be nice
Could a
if
gondola get through the bubble though?
You haven't tried.
Everybody else is searching for it. If Astra wants to try, it might be worth a try.
I mean, there's
And if-
also, a flying bitch who might be able to squeeze her way through.
Well, that's the thing. If the gondola feels like if it collides and it blows up or something, at least Astra has wings as well. For an hour,
Could even
if she needs to
say,
catch herself.
Push the gondola out and see what happens. Would that work?
We could just, throw Pip at it and see what happens.
Throw Tewa at him. He's sturdier.
More hit points.
Bit more
Can you set a
conspicuous,
gondola
though.
to, can you set a gondola to auto fly and it just flies in a
Yeah.
straight line? Huh.
Like, put a little sail and Asher keeps casting gust of wind at it.
Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash.
You know how I said my sister always messages me when anyone dies? She messaged me that a cat died. Not a cat we know. Huddersfield train station cat died.
Huddersfield.
Yep. Beloved Huddersfield train station cat Felix has died.
Bastards.
He was their senior pest controller. And he worked
What's
for 12 years.
How to say it? Huddersfield's wanted. Quite told.
Okay, so you guys spend a lot of time recruiting.
R.I.P. Felix.
Beloved West Yorkshire Railway cat dies from terminal illness. That's
Yep.
the first thing that popped up.
Yeah.
No.
My sister always tells me when something dies.
You guys spend the morning, you recruit people you can, knocking on doors, asking people sympathetic to your cause, things like that. Try to gather any type of information. The gladiators come and meet you at your at the docks as instructed, and they're able to tell you the city's opinion. They say, "Whoa, man, out there, it's they are not big fans of the Archmage right about now. I guess all that fucking freaky deaky shit she's doing, you know."
That's good. That's good news.
So the city's opinion updates. None of you checked your notoriety. Is that because you all did recruitment?
Yeah, we're all pretty sure our notoriety is fairly up there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's never a good thing nor a
It's
bad
high,
thing.
but our opinion is great.
Yeah,
I was
look,
about
they
to say.
fucking love us.
Yeah, because you forced a lot of bad shit to be done by the other side. Like, you forced them to do a lot of bad shit.
We're making the other side do war crimes with our war crimes.
Because you have 90% opinion of you, that means of your recruitment rules, you get 90% of the total, which means of that potential thing, you got 9 untrained large groups at your disposal.
Whew.
That's 30 people per group, isn't it?
That's like 280 odd people, yeah.
What were you saying about not taking the?
I mean, they're all untrained though.
Yeah, we've seen how quickly they can fall.
It's 270 people. It's a little
We just
on the
need
lower
to
side.
take out the captains.
Okay, so let's start planning our message.
8 groups. Sorry, my math was off. 8 groups.
I mean, the speech at the Self-Carriage Maximus did very well, but now we've got more shit to add to it. The fact that they're willing to burn the city down.
I can amend my speech. I wrote it down just in case I need to repeat it.
We
Mainly
need-
just so I don't
Half the
forget it.
people that heard it are dead, so you might as well repeat it.
We need
Maybe
to
we can use their
address
party.
the people and let them know that if they wish to leave this situation, we have taken the docks and we are willing to get them out and back to the surface, no strings attached. And we also need to address the Archmage and her forces, her people, her council, whatever they are, and tell her that we are willing to leave peacefully if they are willing to let us leave peacefully. But if not, we will fight till the bitter end. We will fight as long as the people want us to.
It sounds like the people want us to fight.
Well, it
Also,
doesn't take everybody
if you
to
could
send
fit,
up.
if you could fit in somewhere that guy who keeps giving the announcement is such a prick. Dear God, what a prick! I dreamt his announcements when I went to sleep last night.
Or
He's
maybe
just a
no,
pawn.
No paperwork.
I know,
necessary.
but I just feel like, shut up. You know?
Well, it doesn't take all of us to send a message. I'm thinking maybe while yous are preparing the message, I'm not great at speeches, but I've been in the army. I can try and train up with the gladiators, try and train some of our forces at least to how to basically defend themselves.
One of you per group.
Yeah. Try and gather up as many weapons as we can and teach them basic combat if it comes to that.
Alara
I'm gonna see if I can
finally
clean up
speaks
some
up,
healers.
and she goes, and she sounds surprised. She's like, "I think I've just had an idea.
Not had one of those before?
I don't think I'm supposed to."
That's interesting, but a chimera spoke this morning, so anything could
Yeah,
happen.
stranger things have happened. Hit us. What's your idea?
The Arcane Castello has 6 connecting points to the main island. There's a sewer system, there's a support strut, 2 support struts, and 2 bridges. And then there is the 2 sky bridges, which connect to the actual houses of Arcanum themselves. One of them's the glass bridge. I don't know how structurally sound a sewer system is, but if you could get support struts and those bridges out, we might be able to just drop the Arcane Castello off the city. There's no civilians on there.
Fire down with the cannon.
We might want to see if the cannon's only got a limited number of charges.
We take the ship. We
do have a giant ship.
The huge ship.
Yeah, with a siege weapon that
Yeah.
could take out a few bridges.
At worst case
Take a
scenario,
few-
you could just crash it into them. It's big enough.
Take a couple of the smaller ships. We have enough.
Is anyone
Get on.
concerned that her first ever idea was mass murder?
Nope, I love it.
Okay.
Maybe the star one can come in at the side.
That's true, we still haven't contacted them. But we might need them to help the Exodus if people want to leave.
Do you think it's worth at least trying to peacefully get people out of here?
I think we still send the message, we find out where she truly lies, whether she's willing to let these people go or not. If she is not, and she has to broadcast that to us.
We drop
It
the
might
Costello out
turn-
of the sky.
It might turn more people to our favor, and then we drop the Costello.
Sorry, I know you've answered this question. These,
They're glass.
are they fountains or...
No, they're like open
glass viewpoints. They go
Glass
down
view.
nothing. They're like columns. They cut through the Undercity. They're like big. If you look at them in the Undercity, they're actually walled all the way down like wells, and they just go all the way to the bottom. They can be opened, and they're used for things like dumping trash and shit.
I just have one small concern. Would the
What?
controls for the engines and such be in the Costello?
Our previous reconning suggested it was in the houses of Arcana themselves.
Okay.
I'm all for this plan.
We drop the Costello at the sky. They might even surrender.
They might be all too dead to surrender, depending
No,
on
he
where the
means-
Archmage is.
And where her top commander is.
There may be
Then go-
prisoners in there. That is one thing. I've just remembered it.
Well, why don't we try and do the peaceful option first and be prepared to...
Drop a section of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And Beros, you would know the biscuit snake is in the Arcane Costello.
Time to make those hard choices.
Kill the Chimera or blow up the ship.
But the biscuit snake is in the jail area. You guys
Just
should
a
stage
quick
a rescue and try to stage the prisoners in the biscuit snake if you wanted.
Question,
That's something you
Harry,
could
did I
do.
man-
And
I
you know
just
the room the biscuit
grab-
snake is in is open to the open air, but it does have defenses. It's a problem.
Harry, did I manage to grab anything I needed?
Yeah, you go to you go there. They are closed. They have like a sign up. It's like closed until we're in the space.
I will bang down the door.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Jack.
Closed until we in space.
Oh, come on.
You shoulder barge into it, Volgi, and you bounce off
Hard.
it. It's locked.
A 19 strength, and I still bounce off the fucking thing.
You see, there's a window right next to the door. It looks much more smashable.
I'm just gonna knock on it profusely
Yep. Knock, 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 knock.
until he fucking answers.
Eventually, you're from inside. Sorry, we're closed.
I don't give a fuck. Open up. I want some stuff. I'll give you some gold.
Make your persuasion check.
Do I get advantage because I'm offering him gold?
No, because that's how most people do business.
That is how buying things
Yeah,
works.
but I'm not offering him traceable shit. I'm offering
Yeah,
him
but
gold.
to be honest, if you came to a shop that I worked in after I had closed it and you said I will pay you, and I'm like, that doesn't affect me at all.
I just work here.
Will you pay me personally? Like you'll pay double and I get half?
You hear the door unlock and you see inside there's like an elvish man. He kind of like gives you like a little like look up and down. He goes like, hello, and he like adjusts his like big spectacles he's got on. You see, it's almost like a timber brick cabin. It's got like a little. Unlike the rest of the city, the actual roof of this building appears to be like wooden. And as you like see behind him, you see there's a counter behind him, a crossbow sitting visibly on top of it, a corner table with herbs and unfinished brews, shiny hardwood floors. And yeah, you kind of like see, and you kind of come in and goes like, what would you like to buy?
Just some bits that I don't think you'll use. I'm looking for some materials.
Or what kind of materials?
Now you made me. I had it. I've clicked up. So give me 1 second. I need some.
You hear like a sudden like kind of muffled like quietly like in the background. You see like close the door a little bit more. It's like, what would you like to buy? Sorry.
Right, go back to his list. I'll have to. I need some powdered iron,
Mm-hmm.
eyelash encased in Arabic,
Indeed.
some burnt leaf of mistletoe, a
Yes.
sprig of spruce, and a good chunk of eat.
I could sell you a whole component pouch which has all that and more for 25 gold. Or 2,500 shits. If you drop.
Mm.
Or do you only
2,000
want those
shits?
individual ones? Make me a precision check for your bardo.
It's gonna be a 1. Oh, thank fuck for that.
Meet
Why
the
am
middle.
I
22 and a half. I'll call it a day.
Fine.
So you can note down, you take off 22 and a half gold, and you can then you have a component pouch, which is a little watertight leather belt pouch that has compartments and holds all of the material components and special items that you would need to cast your spells, unless they have a cost. So all of your gum arabics in there, so they're all in there. So it's like a little selection. So he's like, what kind of spells? And he asks like, what kind of spells do you cast? Oh, like kind of like nature and using and you use a bow. Yeah, I can work that out. And like, you know.
Just while I'm looking around, I'll look around and see if he's got any health on the cheap.
He's got 4 basic healing potions. They're being charged at double their valued price, 100 gold each. And whenever you query, he goes like, wartime prices.
Fair.
Okay. Fair enough, but
Unfortunately, if you don't buy them, I know the watchers will, and they have the money, so I will hold the stock for them.
the temptation for Volga is just to grab them and start throwing them against the wall.
Just smack them all on the
He
ground
doesn't
like
let
an
you in.
angry
He keeps
cat.
you at the door. Like he's cracked the door to talk to you, and you still hear every now and again, like, you
fair
know,
enough.
oh, leave off him, he's down already, leave off. And he like, and he speaks louder. Anytime it gets loud behind him, he speaks a little bit louder.
Perception check to see what's happening in the shop.
No, I'm thinking Volga's gonna, after the second time it happens, he's gonna stop and kind of go, everything alright in there?
Completely fine, nothing you need to worry about.
Insight
Does the
check.
grass grow on the outside?
Insight.
Sure.
Motherfucker. Oh, that's not too bad.
He's just a good enough if you know that he's not like overly worried about what's going on behind him. He's more worried about you, and you're pretty sure he's just asked you some kind of like expecting a counter sign to the thing he's just said. Like he said like a passphrase expecting like a
Does
reaction.
the grass grow outside?
At that point, I'm just gonna walk away and go, thank you for your business. I've got what I've needed. I'll leave you to it.
Have a lovely day. Order and choose Baron's brews. Bye bye.
As soon as he closes the door, I'm gonna look around the corner and try and peek in
Yep.
through any window.
All the curtains are closed from the back rooms.
Everything.
All
Every
of them
window.
are closed in the back rooms. Yeah.
Lime.
Check your ears of glass, see what happens.
You can listen up, yeah. If you want to listen to the glass and try to eavesdrop, you can make a perception check. Volgir, you like put your ear to the glass and like pause a little bit and listen. It's still muffled, but you hear the unmistakable noise followed by the unmistakable like explosive sneeze that hints that someone's nose has just been broken. You hear like a faint crunch and then like that like explosive. And then you hear a cheer, like yeah, but it's muffled again.
Can I tell roughly how many cheers?
With a 17 perception check, you would say 12 people, maybe more, like somewhere they got like 10 to 15 people.
Thing is, are they fucking up a watcher or are they fucking up a rebel?
Or is it just a, boxing ring in there?
Can Volga do a recollection, see if he's heard that phrase anywhere?
Sure.
Or someone's mentioned it.
You think back. Any bells?
Does the grass grow outside? Does the rain fall on a roof?
Anything else, Volgir?
Observe for a little while.
Okay.
I've got a full. What
you
is
hear
it?
more
8
of the
hours?
same. It become and it how long do you want to stay?
I'm gonna stick around for a little while and listen in and see if anyone pops in or pops out.
Not to meta, but I'm just going to remind you that you're the one that knows how to work the broadcasting system.
I'm here for a full thing. I'm
Alice
only
is
making
willing
use
to
of the
give
full
that
thing.
shit a go if Volgir doesn't show up in time. She's averagely smart.
You know where
Uh,
I am as well.
Volgir, roll me a luck roll.
What's a lot roll?
Just a d20 and tell me the result.
20.
Wow.
Non-natural.
5 minutes after you go around the corner and like hide up there, I guess if nat 20, you've also you've hidden yourself away.
That's
and
the
it all gets
second
spotted.
nat
I've
20
also
luck
got
roll we've
invisibility
had.
if you want me to use that.
Yeah. You hear someone knock on the door. You hear. Oh, hello. Goriel. Does the grass grow on the outside? No. Only when the sun shines. Indeed. Come on in, buddy. Well, how have you been?
It's a gambling ring.
Yeah. It's a fight club.
It's a fight club and we sent Volgir's there with all of them.
Volgir, whenever you hear the countersign of no, only when the sun shines, you go, that's the name of one of the gladiators, Sunshine.
A legal gladiator ring.
I'm intrigued now. I've got to go in.
Okay, yeah, you go knock on
I'll
the
give
door.
it 5-10 minutes and then I'll knock
Yep.
on and go. Forgot something.
Door opens. Yeah, come back for those healing potions, have we?
No, I want to add a couple extras of the specifics that I want. Also, I was a bit more interested in some other activities.
Oh, like what kind?
I'm not quite sure. Because I don't usually come over this way often. I've been recommended here by a friend.
Indeed. Did they perhaps tell you about the grass? Does it grow on the outside?
No, but only when the sun shines.
Ah, come on in, Brendo. You should have. What? Did you forget it or something the last time? You have to go ask it. Come in, quick. And then beckons you inside. Locks the door up. And he's like, come roll
good just to remember.
downstairs. There's a good show. Come on. And he leads you down.
I really wanted to just be the gladiators down there. It's like, you guys aren't getting intel at all.
You follow this guy through the back room. He moves aside a carpet, lifts up a trap door, and then as soon as he does, you hear, oh, and he's just got absolutely fucking plowed in the dick. That's an illegal move. That's below the belt. And he ushers you down the stairs, and you find yourself in this 20-foot cube room. There's a cage in the middle, like an MMA octagon,
fine.
and inside there's this really fucking hench looking elf who's ripped his shirt off. He's got blood pouring down his face onto his chest. And there's another guy up against him who's this fucking tiny little halfling, and he's just got 2 knuckle dusters.
Recruit them.
And he's just
Recruit them,
and,
Volgir.
and you can see the halfling is curling up both his knuckle dustered fists clenched over his groin area, and you're and you hear the commentator who's at the side go I don't even know how he punched that low, but he managed it somehow. And yeah, you look around, he's got bats waving in the air, and you're in a fight club. It is literally an illegal.
Fight
and
club,
as you
fight
come
club.
down, Valarian turns, he goes remember, the first rule of the fight club is tell your friends, because it's really quite a fun experience, and everyone's a very, cooperating participant, but it is illegal, so we have to keep it, from the law. But it's been fun.
Recruit the fight
That's
club.
what Volg is thinking. He's getting some.
You get offered some bats if you want to bet. There's a bar, and it's
Volgir will play in, but while he's playing in, he's also going to see if he can recruit anyone. So he's going to spend a bit of money if he needs to. He's going to have a couple of drinks if he needs to. but he's
Meanwhile,
gonna
the
kinda
rest of the party
socialise.
sat around like,
Gone.
seen
If you want-
Volgir in a while?
If you want, if you want to actually fight someone and fight them, do and actually matter about it, then fucking come with me.
Right, make me a luck roll to see how you do at the gambling side of things and versus your drink spend.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is for the gambling. 14.
So you break even, so you don't gain any money, but you spend money on some
That's
drinks and
fine.
stuff like that. You buy other people drinks, so the winnings and stuff like that. But you don't
Yeah.
really make anything. But you
So I'm persuading people with drinks
Yeah,
and
exactly.
shit.
And now I make me a persuasion check with advantage because you're like schmoozing the crowd and like
Oh.
that would be 2 D100s.
That was a D100. Let's try that again.
A 50 on a persuasion check.
18.
Very expensive. 18 plus 1 for you, is it? Yeah, so it's 19.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus.
Okay, and now there's about 20 people in here, so roll me a final D20. You're counting.
See how many people.
7.
7.
So, as you kind of ask, the little halfling is currently on the back of the big, huge elf, and it's just like slamming the side of his head like this with knuckles. Like, and the elf just doesn't look phased at all. He just grabs him, fucking like slams him on the ground. You hear like that crunch of like the guy's back, and it's like, oh, we may need. Is he okay? Can he move? And you see the halfling rolls over. It's like, it's like he's still going. People, get. And you're like, anyone get out? And like you see him like, yeah, my bet's over. Like ripping their tickets up. They like, look down as the halfling just gets fucking like side sweep by this guy, one huge punch, and he just still like careening ass over tea kettle, and you hear the ching 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 as like hits the chain link fence, and then a thung as he hits the ground and it just stops moving. 7 people from the Fight Club agree to join you, and they're all a little bit rough and ready. They're a bit hurt, a bit of scrappy themselves. It is very much like, yeah, they're normal people, like who just here to like have a bit of a fun time, spend some money, hit some people, get hit, like.
Are they a bit more wary to fighting than
This is
just
a
the general masses?
This is a well-trained medium group that you've managed to recruit. The problem is they don't really fight with weapons. They only fight unarmed.
They punch.
So they're well trained in the sense that like they can take a hit and shit like that, but they're not necessarily like any more sturdy than like most of your other guys.
Right.
Like, but they if they're in a fist fight, they're all right. But if you're putting them against like a cone of cold, they're not gonna. They're not like
they
gladiators,
have the attack, not the defense.
Yeah.
That's okay. Some of us don't do well against Kona Cold either.
So I've moved them over, and Volgi eventually returns back, and that is the end of your morning time segment. So you guys are now into the afternoon.
Afternoon.
My time wasn't wasted.
Barros gives a big speech.
Yeah, while you're speeching, Cyrus is gonna grab the gladiators and basically try and teach people like the bare basics.
Sure.
Like standard form, standard swing, standard block.
But the
The bare
gladiators
basics
helping
of
you,
fighting.
I would like you to make me. This is probably going to be. How is Cyrus teaching these people?
Very regimented. Like
So pulling on your own military training.
Yeah, like picture like whenever they were teaching like samurai how to swing swords, you stood in columns and the instructor did the basic forms and he had people mirror and then he would have them repeat it, and if anybody was like not doing it correctly, he would like go up to them and be like, no, you swing it like this, you block like this, and he's very regimented about how he's trying to instruct these people.
It doesn't sound like Cyrus is like scaring these people into like like it's not like you're like if you miss that one block, you're dead. Like he's more like, this is the form and this is what you need, and it's very mechanical. It's very like, this is how you do it. I'm gonna say for that it's probably gonna be, because of the way you're doing it, it's probably like a wisdom or intelligence based check, because you're using like
I would say like drill sergeant. Like
Yeah.
if they don't do it, he's like, I'm gonna make a fucking example out
okay,
of you.
so
This is what you not
so
do.
it's intimidation. Then you're basically like,
Yeah.
this is how you fucking fight. If you don't fight like this, you die. Is that kind of what you're more going for? Like that.
So basically, you're like,
That's
this
how
is-
you would have been taught.
So basically, you're like, this is the move, and everyone who fucks up, you're like, dead, dead, dead.
I feel like more it's Cyrus shows like, okay, to block a downward left strike, you've got to bring your sword to diagonally to your upper right to block it. If you don't, they'll just cleave your head off. And then you go, okay, let's try. And then you walk down the line and you start fucking swinging at people, and like if they miss, they get hit. Like, and then this is, and you probably use like the side of your greatsword, like you twist it and like slam them, and like a wooden sword breaks, like, you know.
I imagine
You're
it's like
ringing some bells.
he's holding his battle axe, but he's holding it like the blade is next to him,
Yeah.
and he's swinging
With
the
the
Just
pole.
whacking him
Yeah.
with a stick,
Okay.
essentially.
Yeah.
With that,
the
let's
blunt end of a
make,
javelin.
are you proficient in intimidation?
I am, thanks to Fife.
Cool. So, make me
Channel
a
your Fife.
strength-based intimidation check. So just roll a strength check and add your proficiency bonus.
Let me just double check that because I believe
should be
you
a
sent me the
plus 2,
feature. Where is description notes? Where is my Fife thing? Fife boon. It doesn't say extras. It's not there.
It'll
I do
be
have
under
it
your
somewhere.
features and traits. It's an actual feat on your card.
Divine
Next to your
Fury,
other
what-
feats. Like, it will be literally a feat. It's a custom homebrew feat you've had out.
Special feats, Celestial, Radiant Soul. Fife, boon. Proficiency in intimidation checks, yeah.
There you go.
Not advantage or anything, so yeah, proficiency in it.
Yep, so roll your intimidation check plus, just roll a strength check and then you can add your proficiency bonus. So it's be, for you it's probably a +6, I want to say.
It's +3, because I wasn't proficient in it before.
Yeah, so then plus you're using strength, not charisma, because you're basically overwhelming these people. Like, with
Okay,
your
yeah,
brute
so
force.
it's-
You're intimidating them with your brute force and like that threat, as opposed to like
So
like,
yeah, it's
your
it's
you're not like you know, using your pure charisma to fucking like get these guys in shape. You're showing them.
You're
what
just
will
big
go
and
wrong.
strong and scary.
so that
that's
is
a
a
20.
non-nat 20.
Okay, with that, roll me a d8. Actually, no, you got 9 on trade. Roll me a d10.
D10, okay.
Five. So
Five.
5 of your groups. One of them is the small group. All become well trained. You give them a good scare and startle them. The ones who don't become well trained, you probably end up fucking knocking a few guys unconscious with the halberd, and like it's like, okay, we have to stop because you guys clearly aren't ready. Like it's that kind of think of like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You guys.
Okay, block me, thunk. But I was like, never mind.
I want to commend you all for finally playing this system how I intended it to be done. This is exactly what you were supposed to do from the start, and you never did it. You were like, no, we just hide everyone in the safe house. It's like, okay, that's fine.
We also
Do you do
blew
anything
stuff
else? Like,
up.
no, they just sit there. It's like, okay.
This is Cyrus realizing we didn't utilize them.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna fucking train these people.
Yeah.
I'd say the people that are being knocked out, Astra's showing people, others, how to care for those who've been knocked out.
This is what the recovery
Okay,
position
yeah, I like that.
This is how you bandage.
Because they're not necessarily all magic users.
Yeah.
Some of them have a little bit of magic, but they wouldn't have any first level spells. It'd be like cantrips and stuff like that. No one here is anyone who has that level of magical powers, first level spells. They're probably already been recruited or conscripted into the Watchers. But yeah, if you want to,
Could she teach them how to stabilize?
Atlas to show
Yeah.
people basic medical attention, doing wounds and stuff.
Yeah, just bandaging and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Cyrus has probably given Atlas her medical box back.
Yeah, my medkit.
Yeah, give that
Astra,
back to you.
you are able to train one of your large groups to effectively become a team of medics. So they will, what they can do is they can no longer, they can still fight, but if you want to, they have a special ability where you can basically choose to have them not take part in combat. You can hold them reserve, and what they can do is they can come in and they can enable a reroll on a D100. So if you're we're gonna resolve this combat, roll it. Fuck, we rolled a 10. That means everyone dies. It's nah, medic's gonna come in and we're gonna re-roll that, and they will allow you to re-roll. So they're gonna be this cyan blue group.
Okay.
Nice.
The
See, this is
ASMR whipping everybody into shape.
I was about to say this is looking a lot better for storming the keep.
Yeah, I'm thinking that myself.
I'm seeing a wee Civ map in my head right now.
Is
The Volga is just gonna be looking at you all going, Told you.
Or is
I fucking
Beros
told you.
or Atlas doing anything? You still have not mounted a gun. You've not mounted that weapon or anything yet. You've not.
I don't know if
So-
Atlas knows how to do that.
Cyrus kind of does, but he's busy.
Cyrus is busy. Cyrus is taking his time.
Make an assassin squad, Beros.
How long would it take to mount it?
Could the
It
gladiators
would take a
help?
time segment to mount it.
Could I take one of the large groups and train them how the basics of ship mechanics to get them proficient to be able to run a ship?
Are you proficient with carpenter's tools or smith's tools or anything of that nature?
No.
Then you cannot train someone because you're not proficient yourself.
Would Fiornic be?
Fiornic could
Proficient?
help people train how to fly, basically, but she's not an engineer. Cyrus would have a little bit. Cyrus might be one of the only ones who would have that kind of knowledge.
Busy.
But you've trained 5 of the 10, so like
Yeah, I know it's not wasted time, but it's how do I do everything?
that's fine.
The only thing Atlas can teach
Volker
people
also
how
is
to do
background.
is
Volker wants to do anything.
brew,
Volker can do something as well.
and whatever herbalism supplies do. I don't know.
Herbalism could help with medics and stuff, like making like you can make healing potions or like basic poultices and things like that with that. So like you could
I
help
can
with
make healing potions.
a herbalism kit. Yes, you can.
we do need someone to work the broadcast system and prepare the message.
Yeah.
That is also a thing.
Send the message. We need to actually get
At
this is
least
the time
one
segment.
person needs to be in charge of
Well,
sending this message.
I'm assuming that Beros is going to be the one giving the announcement, and then either Atlas or Volger, I think, are equally intelligent to work the broadcast.
If you guys tell Traki and Alara, they can also do stuff. Alara is a combat fighter, and Traki is a like priest, but he knows basic medical. The gladiators can also help train people to fight.
So get the gladiators maybe to try and train. No, because the last 3 were beaten by me.
Well, the gladiators try to train those who survived, but like
Yeah, so I can probably get the gladiators to train the
Also,
others.
you still have Yasin and Fiornic, who you've not brought back yet because you've not gotten to see them. No one has contacted Yasin and Fiornic to say come back here. You guys went to the docks.
So do you guys want me to do anything with the message? Because wasn't it just a case of literally rock up, speak it, and send it, basically?
Yeah, I mean, you go check it, Volgear. It's a PA system. It's a huge broadcast. Like, you could, if you
Yeah,
speak
so
into
I
this
could-
walkie-talkie, it broadcasts through the ship's like lower.
So
hull.
I could go back and do something else effectively then.
Yeah. You just
Why-
confirm it's all
why
working. You're
don't-
like, yeah, it does take long.
Why don't I train one of the groups on some ranged attacks rather than?
Sure. Yeah,
Oof.
you can try to make them rangers. Sure. Yeah, that was gonna be. Let's call it a. Dexterity plus proficiencies, like make like a ranged attack roll. That would be the same thing for you.
Can I assist?
A
him?
longbow attack.
Yeah. You can give a advantage, Beros, if you'd like.
Just
Or you
a
can make your
longbow.
own.
I can give him advantage.
Yeah, so you get advantage then
So-
on the attack.
Is it a longbow attack?
Yeah, but
attack?
that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, 25.
Good. I'll say you train up one group because it's a speciality what you're giving them. It's not just like
Yeah.
everyone fights a bit better. It's a general speciality. Let them purple.
You're gonna run out of colours of the rainbow at this rate.
That's fine. So what an archer group can do is they can engage a fortified position from distance. It will give them a plus 40 on their roll. Because they can do so, they can engage it outside the range of the defenders.
I imagine I'm training them on something with a long range as well.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And like you find in the hull of the Dawn with the 25, you find in the hull of the Dawnblade, like they've got an armory on the huge ship, and you find loads of like bows on there and arrows. You're able to arm and put up with swords and things like that. Like you're able to find like proper military weapon. You've taken
Is
a
there
military
any medium
outpost.
armor?
Make me a luck roll.
Ask the question. Nope. Probably
No,
not.
mages don't wear armor. Traditionally, they just cast mage armor on themselves, so there's no armor at all.
God damn it. It was worth the job.
Some of the bows as well, knowing you don't have strings, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then you realize they're like arcane bows, so like you need to like cast a spell to make the string appear, and you're like, fuck, useless. Like
You're
arcane
like
archer.
searching
Around-
around
I'll
for
go around
bowstrings.
I feel like I'm stringing bows.
Yeah,
as,
but you
like,
probably
a
are. You're
move.
probably string and like teach them how to string bows. Like if your bow snaps, if your string snaps, that's what you need to do, guys. Come on, that's how you do it, like that kind of thing.
Sharpening arrowheads and all sorts, and
Okay, so Atlas, Astra's also Atlas or Veros.
Atlas will probably use herbalism kit and her knowledge of medicine checks and healing to try and help Astra and like create more medics.
Medicine check then. Or you can make a herbalism check if you're proficient instead. It's up to you. 18. That's still a success. Get another medic.
I would say Tewa can help train troops, but I think he'd just start killing them.
train them on how to shit where they stand.
Maybe that's his like, I'm gonna teach you how to be brave. Go, and just he runs at them full force, like, don't move.
Beros, there's one large untrained group at the docks. There's also Fjordik and Yasin on the south docks who have yet been contacted, which someone will need to do if you want them to join you for whatever you're planning, or they will just sit there and do their own thing.
Would we not have told them to come up with us when we were bringing everybody else?
Come on, everybody, we're doing a Rocky training montage.
Sure, I'll say you guys could have called around them in the morning. You didn't say that, but you just said you were like, you know, knocking on. You spent the morning like knocking on doors.
Everybody. Yeah.
I have not passed them on the way back.
Sure, I'll say between all of you, one of you could have done it at least. So they'll pop up with you then. And they also have an untrained medium group. You have not had any training at all.
We're not doing too badly with our groups.
No, we've really bolstered our forces in this.
Imagine what we could have done
No,
if we'd been doing
imagine
training
this.
montages from the start.
This is
Just
why
say-
I was saying I'm not being unfair. You guys are just not doing things.
I don't think we even realized we could train them. Because I was like, nah, it's going to take forever to train them. That's like months.
Well, training is like, here's a
never.
sword, here's like what to do. Like, it's basic training.
Because
It's not-
literally earlier in the game, we were like, can we train them? And I'm like, nah, because like when we did that with the Talons, it took so long.
But this
No,
isn't training for like this is like training for like small skirmishes and stuff. It's not training for like, you know,
We had to turn
huge
Kaz into a
battle.
dragon and everything.
Beros, make it a giant group of assassins.
No, Barros has to give the fucking announcement. He can't do anything
Yeah, but I
else.
think if you guys want to give the announcement of this exit, if that's still what you're planning on doing, that's really up to you guys.
Oh,
but right
yeah,
now
sure.
you're
Would it take the whole time segment to send the message, or
Yes.
can we just like hit the button and send it?
it would take the whole time because you have to fly the ship around and
Right.
send it. That's why it takes so long. So while you
Okay.
guys are training up, Barros can go out with. He would need at least a medium team with him.
Can I send Tewa as a Barros-based bodyguard?
Sure. He might be able to get away with like Yasin, Fjornik, and himself, and Tewa. He might be able to get with that.
Well, depending on the ship that he's taken, if he's taken the Mistweaver, he could take the small untrained with him.
There's
and
no longer a
the-
small untrained. They've been trained.
Oh, sorry, the medium trained. This one.
Yeah, medium untrained. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
we
also
could
have a
take-
Lara and Tracky. You've not done anything yet.
Trekky's pretty smart. He could work the broadcast system, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tracky could probably do it. He's done several. You saw Tracky did broadcast in the last city.
Yeah, so maybe have Trekkie work the broadcast system. Barros sends the
doesn't-
message.
Why doesn't Alara train the last large group?
York?
You want a Lara to train a group in her fighting style? She could try.
Yeah.
Or whoever's left. If there's two
Fiornik-
of them to give it to give it a bit
Yeah,
of help. then go
I mean,
ahead.
Fiornik would be ranged. Alara's like a swashbuckler, like, roguish kind of type.
Yeah. You have Alara train the final group.
Yeah.
The medium
large
untrained
or the
go
medium?
with the large.
Right.
It's a shame you can't train like on a multi-discipline level. If you do like
So hang on a minute. We've got 4 large berserker classes. And we have 1 medic, 1 ranged, no, 2 medics,
Two medics.
1 ranged, and a rogue
Yep.
group as well.
Yep, that's what you have. Because you're like, she's like, here's who you fight with a dagger and rapier, and like she teaches them 2-weapon fighting and like, you know, like how to like nimbly dodge of attacks and things like that. Yeah, that's what she does, and she does quite well.
I'm just having a lot of fun imagining the difference of teaching styles of the two groups of medics. Where, like, Astra's being, like, very nice, like, yeah, and this is how you correctly secure a bandage. And us is just like, and if they're bleeding out, you can just stand on their neck to stop it. Like, it'll hurt them, but you can do that.
Meanwhile, in the background, you've got like one wee guy who's just screaming in pain because Cyrus just clogged him with a club.
Meanwhile, you've just got nicely in the background.
Atlas just there, like, okay, do you remember the recovery position? Go!
Unless you guys have any specific plan for the final group, you have Tracky, who tried to need more medics for the rerolls. You have Yasin, who you're not sure what his group is capable of. The Swashbuckler group that you have, they gain a plus 100 on an attack which they successfully beat the passive perception of their defensive position, which means an auto success. As long as they're going up against the same size. So if they go up against a large, and they're the highest size possible, so if they go up against anything, even that, as long as they beat the passive perception of the target, they can auto succeed, kill it instantly.
Now, hear me out here. Rogues, arrows, and suddenly we are in the upper city. Barbarian.
Well, I mean,
barbarians?
if you ask Yasin is like a knight almost, so like he's like his kind of special. Yeah, you've seen. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you. Yasin is a knight. You've seen him what he can do in combat.
Is it possible that I don't know, like we could get one of the groups that Cyrus was training to divvy off to Yasin instead? And try and train them up as knights instead of barbarians.
You could try that, yeah, but they have already technically split the segments, so I would let you, if you want, make the medium group be well trained instead, because I wouldn't want you to waste that resource, you know.
I think we need them to pilot the ship for Barros, because he can't pilot the ship and send the message at the same time.
Yeah, because if you're taking, he would still have Fiornik and Tracky available. So him, Fiornik, and Tracky, the three of them could fly a cutter, because you only need them.
Okay.
You only need three. A navigator, a pilot, and basically like an engineer.
The medium group's left over effect.
You could have Yasin take the medium group if you'd rather, or you could have
Yasin can take the medium.
Yeah, Yasin take the medium, Fiornik fly, Trekkie navigate and work the message system, and Barros sends the message. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Volga is in there in between shooting arrows, just like you push this button, you push that button, you speak here.
Alright, so here's what you've all got to do. Whenever you get in the situation, look around you, look at people who need help, and tell them what they need to do so they can do better. You know? Like if you see someone about to walk into a lamppost, you say stop, and they don't walk into a lamppost. You know what I mean? You're looking at me like you don't know what I mean. Yasin feels to give his group. He feels it's a DC 15 to
He's
train
trying.
up.
He's trying.
He rolled a 13. He didn't have it.
We did exceedingly well with our training.
You did. Everyone. That's the first failure. So like, I mean, that's obviously the bulking them up to media, like to the different thing is different. Technically, all these other groups that are on the right hand side, all the ones that aren't solid green, they're technically still untrained in regards to combat effectiveness, but they have special abilities, so they counteract that. So things like, you know, if they went up against another well-trained large, they might struggle a bit more, but like they also might, like, you know.
What was the well-trained green?
So they're just straight up combat.
They're just straight up combat fighters. They can match another one of that type.
Right.
So they're equal. So if you put a solid green up against a solid red, it's a 50-50 chance. But if you put a cyan green square up against a solid red square, it's probably more like a 30 70. But they have
more for support.
Yeah, the cyan. Well, yeah, but even a purple, it's a 30-70. But if the purple attacks at range, it becomes a 10-40, a 60-40. You know, like it's like a
question. I know they're in green blocks for simplicity. If we split the medics, like half the medics go to one green, half the medics go to another green, and then we basically split them up, would that obviously increase the chances of each
the encounter? Medics as a large group allow a reroll. If you split them, they don't allow a reroll. They will have a different ability. But yes, you can do that, okay. But they will have a different ability, but they will not be allowed a reroll.
Because
Same
I'm
with the
thinking if we
rogues.
had
Same with
to,
the rogues having the auto kill like that thing. If you split them up, they will not be able to auto kill
yeah.
to that level.
But
They
I'm
might
thinking,
still
like,
do
would it be?
something, but like
I'm just thinking, would it be better if we do get to combat, like put a green with a quarter, or a green with a half, a blue, against a block of red?
But also, you don't have to declare where the medics go.
Okay.
You can be like, I have a medic in reserve. They're within this district, so they can. As long as they're within the same district, they can help. So like, you know,
Okay.
you don't have to. Like, you might have two rules who roll 100 and be like, right, the medics are wasted on them. I might have two guys who roll ones and be like, okay, we're gonna need medics on those guys. But like, you know, you don't have to pick. You don't have to say we pair these up immediately. It's the medics.
Okay.
Special ability is the medics do nothing this round, but they quick reaction force and they come and help people who need help and they cause a
Okay.
reroll. That's what they do.
No, that's 'cause I was wondering, like, if we put just a green against a red and the green loses, but the white, we didn't put the blue with them.
No,
we get their ability.
As long as they're within what I would call like close proximity, which is like, you know, the same district or just outside maybe. Wherever you place them, then that would be enough for you to enable it.
As long as it's not stupid, say we're moving them from the
if
bottom
you're like,
of the map
we
to
leave
the
all
top
the
of
medics
map.
at the docks and then we go fight in the upper city, it's like, okay, well, they're too far to help.
As long as we put them in the middle city and we say we're attacking the upper city, then you kind of give it to us because obviously we've got to work our way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the ranged? Sorry, it was advantage at range. What was the
Range,
percentage?
getting a plus 40 attack at long range, which
Plus
is
40.
outside the effective range of the attacker, of the defenders, which is a far distance.
Right, okay. I still say range. Oh, sorry, rogues, range.
Technically,
Two barbarians.
the rogues
Two
could.
barbarians.
Shall we let Barros give his speech first and see what happens before we start putting our battle plans down?
Yeah, you remember the street parties are happening in the evening segment, so that's so whenever you're storming the upper city, that was going to be middle of the street parties, civilian stuff on the roads.
Do we want to storm it straight away then?
That's also never mind.
no.
That was the announcement.
Again, let's let the
Make the
epic
announcements.
speech happen.
Sorry.
Also, you can't do it at this time because you spent this entire segment training.
Yeah.
So you unfortunately you force your hand to go to the night segment. So Barros, you, Fiornik, and Tracky all go up in the cutter, the Mistweaver, and you've been flying over the lower middle city, probably staying away from the upper city's towers in case they like start attacking you, because like it's well known to them the docks have been taken, so it's pretty safe to assume they know that that's probably not necessarily friendly, that ship. Especially, you know, if they can read its name, if you get close enough.
Yeah.
So Fiornik is going to make a piloting check. She's going to use her dex to nimbly try to just keep a distance. 15. Fucking Fiornik rolls so good all the
know,
time.
right?
He's so good.
Boss.
We rolled like 3 nat 20s last fight.
Yeah, so
Literally girl boss.
Fiornik, like without like like she said before, like she only has the basic controls. She does a remarkable job at piloting such a big ship. There's a few moments you think like maybe she's like about to like clip the like at the top of a building, but she always manages to just like, you know, get the ship ascending at just the right angle to avoid it. So you're low enough to be well heard even like deep into the building. So like if you're inside, the system will still ring out clear. Tracky spends his entire time helping you get the system set up and running, and also like just doing basic engineering checks. And then you are doing an announcement, Barros. So if you wanna, what does Barros say to the people? Is it the same thing he said before?
It'll be the same thing, but there's a few like amendments to it.
Do you wanna hit us with those, or?
Yeah, I can do. Citizens of Tilm, I am Barros and one of the supposed terrorists. I come to you today with a message of hope, but a message of truth. I may not be one of you, but our pain and suffering is the same across the Expanse. For a long time, we have healed to the wound of those who see us beneath them. You fly to the Expanse in the name of the gods, but those gods are the ones who told the Archmagus to slaughter people in the streets. Was it those gods who threw those seen as unworthy off the side of the city, that burned half the city, killing women and children to purge those they deem unworthy, just to kill us terrorists? This is not the doing of the gods, this is the doing of one woman who has twisted and manipulated the administration that stands behind her to turn a blind eye to the atrocities she commits in the name of the gods and the stars. I say it's time for the people of Tilm to decide Tilm's future, not the few who wield magic to oppress its people. There should have been a vote by these people, for the people, but now it's too late. They've gone too far. I am young and naive, and my life is not but a blink to some of you, but I believe that every second I have in this universe is precious, and I intend to leave this place a better one than when I am gone. And that starts with giving the people of Tilm their freedom. So if you wish to be free, truly free, then please head to the military docks and take back your destiny.
Okay.
Wait, you also need to tell the fucking Archmage to stand down the weapon and shit.
Well,
Tracky reminds you, Barrows, don't forget to mention what the Archmage, we discussed.
and if the Archmage is listening, if you truly care about your people, you'll deactivate your weapon underneath the city and let those who wish to leave actually leave this time. No more lying. Give us your word as their leader.
Okay, that sounds very compassionate, Barrows. So I want you to make 2 persuasion checks, both at advantage. The first one is for the people. The second is for the Archmage.
Do we want to give Barros group inspiration as well?
Advantage.
Can that
right?
help him any
No,
more?
he can have reputation. It might help, but he can re-roll one of his other dice.
For his
If he rolls 2
good
ones, he can
speech.
still use it.
Yeah, the speech got me a little choked. I vote.
So
To be
Barrows, you have
fair,
the
so
group
did the
inspiration.
goat, so it's not a high bar.
They're both goats. Goats get me.
Goats get you. Goats and owls.
Goats and owls and dragons.
So Barrows, 2 precision checks advantage. First
Nat
20 for the
20.
people.
Does that mean Taro's got like 2 out of 3?
Me, not Cyrus. Me.
And for the Archmage. And before I tell you the outcome of that roll, would you like to use the party inspiration and try to re-roll that 19?
Go on, we might as well use it. See if we can get a little bit
Come on,
higher.
Nat 20! Nope.
Wow.
That's fine.
No.
So,
Worth a try.
Worth a try.
Barrows
1 in 20 chance.
flies over the
2 in
city
20
of
chance.
Mistweaver, dodging attacks left, right, and center from the middle district. Shurik's piloting, especially as soon as the broadcast starts, you draw a lot of unwanted attention. Mistweaver takes a few hits. Shurix keeps it from crashing or getting like anyone on board getting hurt, but the ship will need some minor repairs before it will be safe to do a long distance journey. You broadcast to the city your message. Whether or not it falls on deaf ears or not, but wait till you land. The Archmage call out. Again. A response. Wait and see. And as the Mistweaver pulls into the military dock, you see, like, Yasin there, like, trying to tell people how to not walk in the lampposts. You see Alara, training people how to effectively find the, like, artery on someone's neck and how easily to cut it. We see Cyrus beating the shit out of some small farmhand, while behind him, Astra and Atlas are like tending the wounds of like the other people who have been hurt by Cyrus, and showing people how to effectively give medical care, taking advantage of the situation. And yeah, as you kind of all like spend that time, look up towards the upper city. Fireworks going off above. Celebrations have begun. But as you look down from there, you see on the streets a large mass of people. Beros, I want you to roll me 10 D100s, please.
This is where he rolls a 1 on every single one of them, and it's like, you get 10 people!
This is where Harry's. It's like 10d10s. You get 100 groups. It's like 400.
How many ones was that?
That was a lot. There was a 4 in that. There's a 1 in that. There's a 12 in that. 13.
Cool.
That is
Very
14
easy.
groups of large untrained who join your force.
You rolled a 1.
That's a group and a half.
You have. I'm gonna also say for free. You guys see the city's opinion change. The city is fully behind you.
Yay, we got the city.
Minus the upper city, I'm
Minus the
assuming.
upper city. The
Yeah.
upper city, the only ones, but the lower city, the middle city, where most of the populace are, it's
The
probably like
undercity.
99%. The 1% are the only thing who
Fucking hate
Just
the
roll
1%.
Is Volgir
Fucking-
spotting everyone out, the alchemist
Fucking
that he didn't
elvish
get
Elon
earlier?
Musk up there.
Yeah, probably.
Elvish Jeffrey Bezos. Having the time of their life.
You now have, and this is like, and when I say this, this is literally is like, you look at the street. This is every abled, like, elven man and woman on the city who's able to fight. You see the woman who previously was worried about her kids and stuff like that, like you know, who you tried to get out before. Like you see people who you recognize, like who aren't her, but like they. It's that kind of same era, like age group. You know, you see like people who are definitely moms and definitely fathers and definitely give a shit and like that kind of thing. Like you see this troop
is-
like all lined up before you.
Is this like the World War One draft of pretty much anyone that could walk, effectively?
It's like not quite scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it's like definitely a little bit there, like on the
Toy
way.
Thor reference,
And the
if I've ever seen one.
We're gonna need a bigger ship.
Extensive conscription.
but as a
my
note,
way-
these people, they are untrained large groups. They're not necessarily fighters.
I mean, we did say we would get them out of here, so
So they are.
they may not want to fight.
I will say right now, I'm gonna say half of them are willing combatants, and the other half are unwilling combatants, which will mean they will fight if backed into a corner.
Well, just put half of them on securing the docks.
And they're not necessarily unwilling because, like, you know, they're like, you know, unfit, but maybe they just like don't have this heart for it, or like are scared, or like, you know,
Don't have the stomach.
or some
faint,
of them
faint
may
at the
literally
sight of
be children.
blood.
But yeah, these are the people in the city. These are the people who, you know, you've done all this for. And they've answered your call, and they're here. And some will help if they can, and some will, you know, they're here just to be helped.
I think Cyrus will probably like turn to Barros and all, and basically be like, "This is it. This is the choice. Do we take the city back for all of them, or do we just try and get as many people off as we can?" We don't
Maybe we
have to
need to
make
be doing
everybody
both.
fight. Everyone who wants to leave, we get them off. Everyone who's willing to fight, fights.
People who leave can always come back if we get it back.
We don't have the space on the ships to get all these people off at once. It will be a long extraction to the ground.
Why don't we put people who aren't sticking around, don't want to fight as eagerly as the others, and just get them to look after and help escort people to the docks, to a safer area away from where the fighting will be?
Maybe have them make potions or whatnot. Not
Support.
Supporting.
They can help in other ways.
Yeah.
Have the medics create potions and bandages and whatnot.
And is it
We will-
definitely
we
not
will-
worth training
We
them
will get everyone off, but I think
if they need to?
people's sake, for the ones we are willing to fight, I think we've got enough. I think we can take the city. And we can get those who need it off the city and safe.
Oh, Jesus.
Ah,
Tilm is currently just passed over the Gary Forest and is about to begin crossing a sea. You're about to intersect with Bollia's route if Bollia was still standing.
unfortunately, it is no longer in the air.
The other thing is, we don't know how the Archmage has responded. If we send
Well-
one ship, we could lose it, or they might get away unharmed.
That's why I say we let them defend the last stand, and we assume that she's not going to let anyone off that she doesn't already. Otherwise, she would have already done it.
The Archmage just saw half her city, more than half her city, willingly walk to people they have been told are terrorists rather than go with her.
Whether she
It
cares.
might change her mind,
I
or
doubt it.
it might push her into madness.
Well, it depends if this was more a personal goal rather than just for the will of the people.
Where are you having this discussion, by the way?
Probably ship out of the way on our own little
Not in
ship.
front of all the people who just joined us, where we're like, ah.
Probably on the ship where we stayed the night.
Like, we're probably on the... I imagined it as we were on, like, the deck of the ship, and we saw these people coming through the
Like
streets.
you've just
But
gone
close-
rushed up to see Barros and like he's there.
Yeah, close
You-
enough
you
to hear...
from below deck, like the side of the broadcast system, like coming online, like receiving, like something, and you
Atlas
hear,
will run, run down.
leg it to that.
hear a very calm.
Honestly, it's reassuring that it's not just that guy again.
This is a message to those who think they have power in this city. Ah, nothing. I am Archmagus Elara Vialune, the first of the astral elves, and carrier of the final fragment of Sapana. All of you cower at the docks, hoping for freedom. May have it. Board the vessels you have stolen from us and be gone from my city. I know what will befall you. I have seen what the goddess has shown me, and it is nothing but darkness. Worse than the dark, cold expanse above us. Kemnor is doomed. Without Sapana's power, this whole planet will rupture and break and shatter, and all of you will have nowhere to go but die. So go. I will turn the defenses off and you will willingly fly to your own demise. You could have been saved. But now, you've shown your allegiance. And we have no time for such ignorance. You could have been guided, shepherded like you are supposed to be by the gods, yet you rebel. That is your mistake. Put faith in the wrong person. Put faith in a non-god. The upper city has been closed off. Any who seek to join us now, it's too late. Our celebrations have begun. I will be rescinding back the life force to only cover the upper city and the Castello. I highly advise you are not within it, you go join them at the docks and beg, not freeze and choke to death on that bitter, cold darkness. Defenses are lowered. Go willingly. But the ammunition and the transmission fizzles out. And with that,
Did she say final fragment?
that's what's up tonight. Goodbye, goodbyes.